The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
G-Man.
Samir Swanee of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/pitchtalk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Buick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening
And you're listening to Pitch Talk.
The only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
Hi, I'm John Sitton, and I'm here with Gavin, Liam, and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Buick, I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samir Swanee, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening
And you're listening to Pitch Talk.
Max Power. He's the man with the name you'd love to touch, but you mustn't touch. His name sounds good in your ear, but when you hear it, you mustn't fear, 'cause his name can be said by anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man and Jazzy Fizzle, with a bit of a Simpsons-inspired intro this week. Say and proudly present the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions. Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I love it. We gotta love it. We gotta love it.
We gotta love it.
I think you better recognize we are live and in the house.
I'm in color too.
Of course. There we go. What's up, everyone on YouTube? We are in the house. What is up?
What does it do?
What is up? We are live and in your face. Oh my God. Ooh. It is one of them ones where we welcome you to your Monday night football and fix. That's a meaty tackle. Meaty like pedigree chum. 17 minutes gone. And it's still Hull City 0, West Ham 0.
Yeah, James Tompkins going to be careful.
Them ones, yeah, definitely. It's one of them ones.
That wasn't meaty. It wasn't a tackle.
But one thing that doesn't need to be careful is www.pitch-talk.com, because that doesn't need to be careful. That needs to be spread, because that is our official website, www.pitch-talk.com. Also, facebook.com/pitchtalk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. myspace.com/pitchtalk, pitchtalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk for all of the blogs, including blogs from yours truly, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man, Jazzy Fizzle, Dave Mir, aka at Mircy on Twitter. Also, Russ Vernon and Big T, who we always throw them teas up on a constant weekly basis. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Also, youtube.com/pitchtalk. Look at the videos. We got the videos there. We got the Pitch Talk Meet series, the Pitch Talk at the Cup Final series, our rants of the week, PT on the road as well, and our push points and much, much more. So, It's one of them. Let's have a look at that. Also, twitter.com/pitch talk or at pitch talk on Twitter as well. The mobile is there. 07535804466 is the mobile number. Call us, text us, let us know your views. And we are Pitch Talk 1 on Skype as well. So, that's how you can get in contact with us. But a few shout outs to give, actually. Big shout out to Motivate Sports and Fitness. Big shout outs to Girls on the Ball as well. www.girlsontheball.com, at Girls on the Ball on Twitter, and facebook.com/Girls on the Ball. And of course, Scotty the Rabbit, Pitch Talk's favorite rabbit. Also, a big time shout out, as I said, to Samir Sawney of Motivate Sports and Fitness, facebook.com/MotivateSF, at MotivateSF on Twitter, and www.motivatesf.com. As well, big shout out to the Finn White Line magazine at Tweet White Line and facebook.com/Finn White Line magazine.
We were in issue 0, don't you know?
Yeah, exactly. And the G-Man had a chat with Ian Kerr over the week of Finn White Line magazine. Keep your eyes peeled for what's going to go down. But also, big shout out to the Section 357 show too. Sunday, Super Navajo, Big Shot Run, Floyd as well. Woo! You know what? I love it. I said down there. I said down there. It's supposed to be down there, the other way around.
Yeah.
But Russ is sharp. He's picked up on that. I like it.
I'm telling you, man, he's going to be jacking our scripted ad-lib soon.
Scripted ad-lib, even though that's a borrowed scripted ad-lib in itself.
I know.
OWR is coming from down where? Nah. What that was, man. But, how are you, Free? Before we quickly mosey on.
Who's the third one? Over here.
You Free. I'm speaking in the third person. There was that. Where's the other person?
I'm like, is he on YouTube?
I meant the three of us.
Yeah. No,
You are the fourth man. You are the fourth man on YouTube and also on the podcast on iTunes, Mixcloud, Podomatic, and Spreaker too. You are the fourth man.
I'm saying this.
Or the fourth woman.
The Section
Hello,
357 guys.
Sorry, I really couldn't help that one.
The Section 357.
Hello, ladies.
Oh, stop it. I know you're queuing it up already.
You know something, ladies?
Oh no, it's starting already.
And even Mike is saying in the chat, G-Man is the flavor.
On that note, we'll say a very special
I'm not going to drop
evening
that to you.
Tara. How you doing? The G-Man's not going to wave at you this week.
Not yet.
No, I honestly thought you were going to go from Val Venus to Ravishing Rick Rude for a second. I thought you were going to do it.
Oddly enough, I was watching a WWE program about D-Generation X and obviously Rick Rude's appearance on Nitro and Raw. But you know what? We do have Ross Vernon, Mike Harneman, and Jamie Bailey in the house, so we'll be getting to their views in the first segment. So just as our intro tune comes to an end, we got to pause that
How about
track.
Hernandez cut off all of his hair?
We got to check. Really?
Yes.
Kuyate. Wow, Kuyate. Okay.
I can't believe Abel Hernandez cut off all of his hair.
Well, life sucks and then you die.
I'm like...
Hey, Bafatembi, when are you cutting your hair then? Sorry. I could not help that one. I could not help that.
That's just poor. That is just so poor.
Well, it's that poor. Well, I guess it's that poor that we've got to. It's that poor that we've got to change segments with that joke in mind.
Yeah, please. If you.
Results and analysis. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's results. Good evening. Yeah, it's results and analysis, and we are going to jump straight into Tuesday, 9th of September 2014 with some European Championship qualifying. Actually, yeah, let's start there. Norway 0, Italy 2. Zaza scoring on 16 minutes, open the scoring for Italy. It's a funny name, Zaza. Hello, Dada. Cipollini Zaza scoring, and Bonucci scoring on 62 minutes to give Italy the 2-0 victory. Croatia 2, Malta 0. Borg got sent off for Malta, but Luka Modric scored on 46 minutes. Kramaric scored on 81 minutes to give Croatia the points there. Borg was sent off on half an hour. Azerbaijan 1 and Bulgaria 2. Mikansky opened the scoring for Bulgaria on 14 minutes. Nazarov equalised for Azerbaijan on 54 minutes, but Hristov scored on 87 minutes. Moving on from Group H to Group B. Bosnia-Herzegovina 1, Cyprus 2. Bisevic scoring on 6 minutes. Christofi equalising on 45 minutes, and Christofi scoring again on 73 minutes. A match in which Edin Dzeko was actually booked on 76 minutes. Andorra 1, Wales 2. Lima scored a penalty on 6 minutes, but Gareth Bale scored a brace. The first of which on 22 minutes, the second of which on 81 minutes. Because he's just a chippy boy. Chippy boy. He's not just Spurs toy, Madrid toy. He's just a chippy boy. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that one. But anyway, it's one of them ones. But, yeah. That's what happened in Group B on Tuesday. Group A, Kazakhstan 0, Latvia 0. Bugger all to report on that, apart from there was about 3 yellow cards. Czech Republic 2, Holland 1. Dokal opened the scoring on 22 minutes. Stefan de Vrij scored on 55 minutes to equalise, but Pilar scored in the 91st minute. Mike Harneman, you saw the Czech Republic-Netherlands game. What did you think, man?
Yeah, I did. I think it was quite a good game, really. It was quite even, but I think Czech Republic just about edged it, as the result showed. But it was kind of down to that one mistake made by the Holland defence in the last couple of minutes there as well, which was a really big blunder.
I mean, Ross Vernon, you wanted to jump in as well on this game.
Yes, because I didn't actually watch it live because I was out to my sister's show last Tuesday, which was very good. I saw it again in the weekend. So I saw it twice, and it was very good. But I saw it on the highlight show.
What did you see twice?
My sister's show that she was in a Rotherham Civic Theatre, Liam. She did laugh. I know they went to Miami, and I saw it twice. I saw it last Tuesday because my sister's friend couldn't go with her 'cause she wasn't feeling very well. Her other friend couldn't make it, so I went as well, so she didn't go on her own. And then I was going Saturday anyway, so I saw it twice. And I must say, it was very good play. Like, all involved.
Nah, good stuff. So nice you saw it twice. That sounds wrong. But your thought on Czech Republic Holland?
Yeah, I saw it on the highlight show when I got back from the play last Tuesday. And I must say, it was a good game. I said Czech Republic deserve the victory against Holland. Didn't look that good. So Czech Republic deserve the victory in that game.
I hear that. The final result from Tuesday 9th of September 2014. Thank you, Michael Russ, for your views. We'll be getting back to you in a bit as well. Iceland 3, Turkey 0. Bod Varson scoring on 18 minutes to open the scoring. Gylfi Sigurdsson scored on 75, and Sigforsson scored on 77 minutes. And Toprak was booked on 55 minutes, then booked again 4 minutes later on 59 minutes, which he was sent off. So one of But let us shift on to Saturday. Let's shift on to Saturday. G-Man, first result's yours. You waiting for the tune to switch?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the tune to switch.
All right. Let me give you another one.
Now, but Saturday the 13th of September 2014, the early match, 12:45 kickoff, Arsenal versus Manchester City, finished Arsenal 2, Man City 2. Sergio Aguero scored on the 28th minute. Basically a great break from Man City after a lot of Arsenal possession beforehand, but they caught Arsenal on the break. Sergio Aguero put it past Chesney and made it 1-0. Wilshere then scoring an equaliser on the 63rd minute. Great build-up play between Wilshere, Ramsey, and Sanchez, in which Wilshere basically dinked the ball over Joe Hart, and then Sanchez scored on the 74th minute after more Arsenal pressure. And what a goal it was by Sanchez! Lovely volley inside the Man City box, and then Di Michele scoring on the 83rd minute. Sloppy defended by.
No, I'm just saying Jesse was showing us something. It's like, try and pronounce that name.
Di Michele scoring on the 83rd minute, and it was a poor goal to concede by Arsenal, but Man City at that point, was piling on the pressure, and Arsenal just folded. And
would you say that that City's first goal from Maguire on 28 minutes, I would say it was a sucker punch, because at the end of the day, you lot were on top for the first 15-20 minutes. You lot were on top, but didn't convert the chance. Welbeck had that chance, that ended up hitting the post, and it was like, and it was like, yeah, one chance, one goal. And that was, for me, that was the difference between Aguero and Welbeck.
Oh yeah, well, how you define it? How you define it? It was a sucker punch. The Welbeck chance was, one of those ones where when you saw it, especially seeing it live, and that, it's like.
Oh yeah, you were there. Yeah, tell us about that. What was it like?
Well, the atmosphere was. I've got to say the atmosphere was crazy.
Are you writing the blog? And are you writing the blog?
Of course, he's writing the blog.
If I was writing the blog, it'd be up right now. So
no pressure.
Apparently not.
But apparently rich or apparently not.
Well, apparently I'm not rich, but apparently not.
Curveball right out, Mills struck. Sorry, you were saying?
No, but I was saying the Emirates Stadium. Everyone was basically excited about the new signings, especially with the forward line of Sanchez and Welbeck. And when the team sheet came out, you had Welbeck up front, you had Sanchez on the left, you had Ozil on the other side. Then you had was interested to see that you had Wilshere and Ramsey, and then Flamini's just sitting right behind them, and it was like that was very interesting in itself, because it's like. Welbeck spearheading the team, and you're going to have a lot of pace on one side with, the on the other side, you've got a provider who, to be honest, I've got to say, Ozil had a very poor match. He wasn't really, he never really provided.
Wilshere stood out for me in the match, though.
Wilshere answered all of his critics on the day. At the end of the day, everyone.
Well, he needs to do that.
No, wait. Everyone who criticised Wilshere for the last 2 weeks, saying, "Oh, Wilshere this and Wilshere that," yeah. I'm telling you, even people that I'm sitting around when we played against Crystal Palace, where they were criticizing Wilshere, they were sucking Wilshere's bum. I'm being serious. They.
Oh God! EAB.
And the worst thing about
it. Say that people like Trick Daddy up in there. That's wrong.
No, but the worst thing about it.
No wonder his teeth for gold.
The worst thing about it.
No more.
Worst thing about it for me, it's like we're only 2, 3, 4 games into the season. How you can criticize players so early on when they're trying to find fitness. And they're trying to find, like I was saying last week, there was team morale. They're trying to build upon that. There's so many different factors. They just had a World Cup,
But look at when United got beaten by Swansea. I was mocking, but at the same time, but at the same time, but at the same time, it was like, well, it's so early in the season.
But it's the fickleness of fans, where one week you are absolutely slating one guy. Yeah. Next week. And then next week
you're riding him like a pony.
Riding him? Trust me, it was. That's literally where it was like, bro. But I've got to say, he had an astounding game. He was excellent. We need to see more performances like that from him.
Personally, I thought he was up and down.
I don't think so. He had a hand in both goals. He set up Sanchez's goal. It was him that basically knocked it back to Sanchez into him. He scored a goal. He bossed the midfield. You've seen how he bossed Nasri, but he literally bossed that midfield as well.
Well, I'm like this. How many times was he on the floor looking at the ref like? Bro.
Yeah, but that's what that is one.
And the other thing as well. Are you really trying to tell me that's not a handball?
What, the wheelchair handle?
Are you really trying to tell me that's not a
The
handball?
thing is, it hit Navas's hand as well. I think it was Navas who was in that area, yeah. So it's one of them ones. It's a case of, I think the ref pretty much got it right, because at the end of the day, if you give one, you got to give both, and they both cancel each other out. So no point giving either.
I've just got to point out, the referee couldn't have seen that. If you saw, they even, you've seen the replays
No, I understand
from the angles.
that.
The referee
I
can't see that. So
understand
how do you give
this
that?
isn't so much about the referee. Yeah?
And
This
if
is
you're
about the referee's assistant, aka the linesman, aka the line note, aka the dude with the flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but as
I'm like-
Liam rightly pointed out, you had Navas' hand and Wilson's hand at the same.
Ooh, almost.
in that-
Hull a bit under the cosh against West Ham. 34.5 minutes gone, and they've just come close. Good ball delivered to the far post, headed back in, and almost an
Under
OG.
the cosh. But I just personally don't think the linesman had a good view himself, hence why it wasn't called.
He
had a better view than
There's
the
another
referee.
linesman who deserves criticising from the Liverpool Aston Villa game, but I'll get into that later.
And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think a draw was a fair result, personally. When you look at
Just
it,
about,
I think
I would say just about,
What about-
because City weathered the storm and then scored through Aguero, and then it was one of them was Arsenal were better for. Well, they came out better in the second half, in the first half of the second half, but then City were kind of growing into it as they were pressing, trying to equalise for the second time.
Marky Noble, no.
It was one of them ones.
Well, this is how I
Sanchez's
overall-
goal, legit goal of the week contender.
Overall, this is
Fantastic.
how I round it up with the
don't
the
forget-
Arsenal talk here. It's basically, you know what? We've seen us play the top four on many occasions in the last 3 or 4 seasons, and we have been poor. Now, this is one of the better matches that I've seen, apart from the time when we played Chelsea and we beat them 5-3 at Stamford Bridge. In terms of the team performance, it wasn't really up and down as per se. To be honest, Manchester City were always going to get their chances. Manchester City actually were holding back a lot, and Arsenal had a lot of possession, and that's how the two teams have to
Well,
play.
they missed Yaya
Play once
Toure,
a-
and you can
once
see
another,
that.
because at the end of the day, if both teams start attacking each other, it's going to be a slaughterhouse for one of the teams. If both teams go, it's going to be a slaughterhouse.
There
So-
actually was a match like that this weekend, which we'll get into a bit later.
So
in Italy as well. It's
in
crazy.
what the Parma AC Milan 5-4.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get into that a bit later.
Oh my God.
But let's
Menendez's goal was sick.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we'll
saying.
get into that. I love Jeremy Menez. Yeah, smacked it. We'll get into that in a second. But you know what? Yeah, first and foremost, just want to get into Mike Harneman, because Mike's been having his view, in the chat. So Mike Harneman, have at it.
Yeah, I think I basically agree quite a lot with what G-Man's saying. But at the same time, you can see how weak we can be in defence as well, because both goals have been basically mistakes. Flamini giving the ball away, Monreal not tracking back. He's really got to learn to improve that side of his game. Because if Gibbs was playing, he'd have been up and down that pitch. He would have come back and tracked back on his man. And also the last goal as well, the equaliser. I think if Chesney and Flamini had a bit of communication there as well, one of them called it, then one of them probably would have got that clear as well, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, both goals were quite sloppy to concede. I mean, especially the Aguero one. It was like what? It's just the way. It's just the way certain goals happen. So, I don't know. It was horrible. I mean. By the way, Wayne Schumann, welcome to the show. And you wanted to jump in on the Arsenal City result, the early game.
Yeah, I thought it was a much better performance from Arsenal. Saturday, just when we went 1-0 down, we looked a little bit flat. Then we come out in the second half, played a lot better. But I agree with Mike. I think Flamini was, causer of both goals really. Sliding tackle and the defending was just shocking. The second goal, but as I said, I thought it was a much better performance, probably the best I've seen this season so far. And I was quite impressed with Welbeck as well.
Yay! Hernandez. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Wayne. By the way,
Yeah.
and Hernandez has on 38 minutes has put a whole City 1-0 up. It was a good header. It was a good break it down. Hernandez broke it down. It's one of them was the fact it was actually a pretty good ball in, to be honest. Right where defenders don't like it, but
In that
fantastic
corridor of
header.
uncertainty.
But the celebration. It looked like he was convulsing and trying to do the Macarena at the same time.
Stop
It was tremendous. It was tremendous. Mike Hardiman had a question for Jesse Fizzle.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's on the Danny Welbeck situation at Arsenal. Basically, where he's come from United, who's obviously your side, do you think that if he gets a regular run in the team, he will be the answer for Arsenal to replace Giroud up until January?
I think so. Here's my thing, right? The biggest thing for me about Danny Welbeck, okay, was, and I kind of agree with Louis Van Gaal. He didn't score enough. But the thing that made him not score enough was that he wasn't played in his preferred position, which is through the middle, not on a consistent basis. When he was played through the middle on a consistent basis, i.e. when he was at Sunderland on loan, he scored goals. Yeah. When he was played through the middle for Man United, he scored goals. Now that he's going to be played through the middle at Arsenal, he's going to score goals. It's as simple as that. The other thing as well.
And the point is, he's going to score goals.
Realistically, yeah.
And the bottom line is, he's going to score goals.
But realistically speaking, I think his issue, he definitely needs a run in the team. He needs to build up his confidence, right? And even if you look at the England game, what did he do? Scored 2 goals. So, you know, I think it will come together. It will come good. And I honestly feel that Arsene Wenger is probably the best manager to get that out of him. I really do.
He's good. He's good at getting things out of young players.
He's going to be an absolute quality signing for Arsenal. And this is the thing, right? Danny Welbeck was the length of the post away from having a perfect debut.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And
Just
that's all Jesse Fizzle's
just
got
the
to say
length of the
about it.
post, right? If that was inside the post, okay, by the same length, everybody's talking about Danny Welbeck's amazing. Can't believe Man United let him go. Scored an absolutely ridiculous golazo for Arsenal on his debut. Whereas now we're saying no.
And Guy Demel's just had a penalty appeal waved away. Never a penalty. No,
he
never,
got the ball.
never
Got
a
the ball.
penalty. Livermore's gotten the ball, so it's one of them ones. Jamie Bailey apparently doesn't like width. But anyway, that's a different issue from what it sounds like. Might bring the 2 men jokes back. But anyway, no. Wayne Schumann wanted to jump in on Welbeck.
Yeah, as I said, I never said or thought that Welbeck was a rubbish player. I always thought he was a good player, but my argument was...
Certain Arsenal fans have changed their tunes, to be honest.
I never said he was a rubbish player. I just said he was the wrong buy. Because I thought at the time we needed a world-class striker, and we still do. And Danny Welbeck's not world-class. He's a good striker. Never said he was rubbish, but I just thought he was the wrong buy for us, and I thought that we needed a world-class striker at that time.
Who would you have bought?
I would have stuck with what we was going in for. We went in for Valcao. We went in for the thing. We were linked to Cavani. We was linked to a few players. We went in for Remy. We pulled out of that deal. And before Balotelli went to Liverpool,
would you regard Remy as world class though?
No, but.
But you were saying you need a world-class striker. And
Yeah, no, I'm saying
no
yeah,
point
but he
in
said who else would you go in for? I'm just saying these are other strikers that we could have got as well. And
But then you would have been saying the same that they're not world class though, because you just said that Remy's not world class.
True. But also Balotelli, we could have and should have got Balotelli before he went to Liverpool. When we went in for him,
My question to you, right, is Balotelli really world class? Because I understand he's a talented young player, but can you say that he's legitimately world class?
No, you can't.
I'm like, how many seasons has he had where he scored 20 or more goals, 30 or more goals, even 40 goals plus? And how many seasons has he done that on a consecutive basis? So is he really in that stratosphere to say that he's world class? I would say Cavani probably when he was in Italy, but that's about it, right? Since he's gone to PSG, admittedly he's, in my opinion, played out of position, but even he's gone off the boil, right? Out of all of those that you mentioned, the only player that I would say is legitimately world class would be Falcao, just because in Argentina he tore it up, in Portugal tore it up, in Spain tore it up, went to France, still scored goals.
See, world class is a phrase that's bandied about way too much. Just like the words legend and icon. I mean, legend and icon were getting thrown around way too much in the 90s, let alone now. Yeah, see, that De Jong goal was just like proper perseverance. But watch the last one. Jelavic on 43 minutes has had a goal disallowed for offside. The flag was up. But it's one of them ones where let's see if that decision's right. Yeah, it is. Yep.
Oh,
correct
nice.
decision. Correct decision. So Jelavic one disallowed for offside for Hull City. Correctly. So it's one of them ones. But
Menez.
mockage, isn't it? Mockage. We'll see on that one. But Jamie Bailey, you wanted to jump in with a quick view about Arsenal v Man City. What did you think of the match?
Not really much of a view on the Arsenal Man City game. It's a change from what happened last season, which was quite wasn't exactly the way that the game went for us in terms of the away games. But we'll see what happens when we get to the Etihad Stadium, when we get to Anfield, and when we get to obviously Old Trafford all over again. Stamford Bridge, I'm not too sure about for the first time. In terms of the somebody pointed it out on Saturday. I think it was Shearer. We have fullbacks that go way too far up, and we don't have anybody to cover them, which is a problem, because when you look at Chelsea, when you look at City, they have those defenders just to do so, or they just don't go forward when they're away. They just sit back as far as they can. So I think that's one thing that I'm pretty annoyed about, with the fact that Wenger's only got this one diamond formation. My biggest issue with the fact that Welbeck has been signed is that he's only got his Premiership and Champions League medals on merit. Even if he's got a Champions League medal, I don't even know. But he's only got them on merit because everybody else around him has scored enough goals in order for United to win the title.
But then that means he hasn't. But then that means Welbeck has not got it on merit, because you're saying he's a passenger.
Yeah, he is.
Being a passenger is the opposite to having something on merit. Because if he had something on
merit,
merit,
well,
he
then
would
he's
have
a
been the one
passenger
getting the 20.
All right, he's a passenger then.
I just wanted to clear. I just wanted to clear that up.
No, he's a passenger then, because as far as I see it, we only signed him because we were desperate. Again, we were desperate. If we wanted Balotelli, for me personally, I didn't really want Balotelli because of his attitude. If we wanted Falcao, we would have had to pay at least double what, almost pretty much 10 million more than what Bale was signed for at Real Madrid. Same thing with Remy. We would have had to make sure that his heart condition would have been spotted early, and we would have taken it into account, regardless of his wages.
Yeah.
The problem with Wenger is that there's a certain specific way that he plays football, and if anybody tries to disrupt it, he doesn't like it. There is not, for me, as much as you guys can say that there's a leader somewhere and somebody had to step up, nobody did. It's as simple as that, because if they did, we wouldn't have drawn. We wouldn't have. They may have come back, but that's what you see that's what you tell youngsters to do. When you get to the top, when you see them, they're playing at a certain level. At that level, you got to tell them from when it gets to 80 minutes, try and either hold the ball as long as you can, keep possession, or hold out for as long as you can, if you have to. And it worked for Chelsea in the Champions League. It's actually worked for Arsenal in the Champions League. But for some reason, because we don't have anybody that's tall enough, it just doesn't seem to work. So as far as I'm concerned, if Arsenal are going to, if Welbeck is going to get a run in the side, and if Arsenal are going to be different or challenging for that title, then either Welbeck must replace Giroud, or he was a poor signing.
Well, let's see.
That's
Let's see
at the end of the season.
Well, it's one of them ones. Well, Jamie, it's one of them ones. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, because there's been a lot said about the Welbeck deal. Anyway, Wenger came out with a somewhat odd comment about if I was in the country, we wouldn't have signed him and all that. So let's just
you know what?
It was even.
You know what? I know you want to clear, but I just want to clear that up, because at the stadium, Arsene Wenger actually explained to everybody what he meant by it.
Yeah.
Because basically what he was saying was, look, if he wasn't going to Rome that day to do that match,
That charity
charity match, basically, he would have been up later during the day.
Yeah.
And potentially a bid put in for Welbeck wouldn't have gone through. But
Yeah.
because he was up and he was up from 7 o'clock, he managed to start the deal from when he was up.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he got the ball rolling then.
Cool.
Cleared it all up.
Cool. Okay. No, that's it. No, you know what? That's good to hear. As soon as you were at the Emirates, hey, it's one of them ones. You got the direct quote right there. So it's one of them ones. You see that PT deals in facts, not rumor, not
Call it
supposition,
cover
not
up.
fact. But no, I wouldn't
Call it
say
what
that.
you
I wouldn't say that's cover up at all. But anyway, let's move on because we've got quite a few other results to go through, including Chelsea 4, Swansea 2. John Terry own goal on 11 minutes gave Swansea the lead, but Costa scored on 45 minutes. After, for me, he shouldn't have been on the pitch. There was a little lash out. Boy, if that had been seen by the officials, he would have been straight off.
But my thing is this, right? Are we not still dealing with retrospective bans?
Yeah, we are.
Is that not going to be investigated?
But the Premier League are a joke, so they probably won't do it. But Costa scored again on 56 minutes, scored on 67 minutes. Loic Remy scored on his debut on 81 minutes, and John Joe Shelby brought a bit of respectability back on 86 minutes. Crystal Palace 0, Burnley 0. The scoreline doesn't tell you the story. There were chances galore, but the penalty save, oh my God. What a save from the penalty.
Oh my God.
No, seriously.
Oh my God.
You can't even. Yeah, I love that. Where's Joey Styles? Where's Cyrus? Where's Joel Gertner? Joel Gertner had a lot of aliases on the Cult of Kayfabe group on Facebook. There were Joel something quote Gertner. It's like those quotes are so wrong. I could never get away with it on our show. But the thing is, the penalty save from Burnley's keeper was fantastic. And you can't even say, oh yeah, it was a poor penalty, because it wasn't. It was levered, and boy, that save was fantastic. But speaking of poor and awful defending, Southampton 4, Newcastle 0. Southampton, a team that have been pretty much gutted of their better players.
By Liverpool.
You support United, you took Luke Shaw, don't try it. And
One player.
And Arsenal
One
too.
player.
Yeah, we took 2. Sorry, 3, yeah. 3. Anyway, so it was one of them ones. Yeah, we took 3, 1, alright. Anyway, leaving that aside, Southampton gutted of players, Newcastle gutted of a defence, it looked like, because Pele scored on 6 minutes, scored on 19 minutes, Cork scored on 54 minutes, and Morgan Schneiderlin scored a goal of the week contender on 94 minutes.
Absolutely.
It was
Fantastic.
And there's the thing of, apparently Pardew out, and we'll see.
Yeah.
He's still got like 6 years remaining on his contract. Apparently he's got the backing of Mike Ashley as well. Now, I don't know whether that's a symbolic gesture or the vote of no confidence, but we shall see.
Neil,
But by the way, hey, Mbika, your boys ain't on nothing this season. As per usual for Newcastle, you ain't been on nothing since 1997. But anyway, it's one of them ones.
Bloody.
Hey, it's the truth. Truth hurts. Life sucks and then you die.
Stoke 0.
It's like, where's Mbika? Where's Mbika? Stoke 0, Leicester City 1. Ulloa getting the only goal in the game on 64 minutes. Stoke had their chances, including the couple from Crouch as well, but hey, it's one of them ones. It just happened. Sunderland 2, Tottenham 2. Nasser Chadley opening the scoring on 2 minutes. Adam Johnson with a lovely jinking run. Jinked his way a la Gianfranco Zola against Man United in 97. It reminded me of that kind of goal.
He was jinking.
Little bit fortuitous in terms of the ball when it ended up in the back of the net, but still, nice goal. Goal of the week contender. Stuff of the week is later in the show. Christian Eriksen scored on 48 minutes and a Harry Kane own goal on 82 minutes. And it was unfortunate. One that he couldn't do anything about, but Harry Kane scoring at the wrong end. 2-0 is how that ended. West Brom 0, Everton 2. Romelu Lukaku scoring on 2 minutes, and Kevin Mirallas scoring on 66 minutes. With the live bird upon my chest, this is the result that I don't love the best this week, because Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 1. Gabby Agbonlahor scoring on 9 minutes. That's not my line. The Ed Bonhor line is not my line. Sherelle, what's up? Good to see you last week, by the way. But it's one of them ones. And a big shout out to your boyfriend, Andrew Williams. We will be giving even more of a shout out in the grassroots segment. But it's one of them ones. 9 minutes, Gabby Agbonlahor scored, and it was an awful goal to concede. And the fact is, Villa could have had a couple. Sonderos, the donkey, could have scored as well from a header. And it's poor marking. If we're going to go man for man, you got to go touch tight. You got to go like, and the G-man's like, don't touch me. Come like, I was like, oh, don't touch me.
I totally agree with you, and that's a great way to show it.
The defending was poor. The defending was utterly poor, and the fact of the matter is, we seemed to almost conspire to give Villa chances at the back, and I don't know why. Lovren was sloppy. Lovren was sloppy, and on a general basis, it was a case of where it looked like there was that look-ahead factor to Tuesday, tomorrow, as we're live today, against Ludogorets in the Champions League. It looked like there was that look-ahead factor, whereas that game really should have been a proving ground, not a foregone conclusion. So, Villa were one of them. They were difficult to break down, but as soon as they scored, it was rearguard action, and we were basically having to penetrate 2 banks of 4 all the time. And we didn't help ourselves because Balotelli had a basically anonymous game apart from a couple of chances.
Well,
but as said, he's consistently inconsistent, so he has to step up. But the fact
we were talking about Costa before, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about Senderos.
Yeah.
How many times?
Senderos should have been booked for that foul on
times?
Balotelli when he legitimately booted his heels. Again, like I was saying earlier, linesman deserves criticism because no one saw it. And it's like retrospective punishment. Hey, you never know with that. But I don't think it will happen.
I'm just saying, how many times was he booted? He was booted several times.
They were trying to wind him up, and Balotelli, to his credit, never rose to it, which I was kind of surprised about. I was expecting him to rise to it. But the fact of the matter is, we didn't help ourselves. When you're basically, Villa for the first 15-20 minutes were fantastic. I'm not going to take that away from them. We didn't get started at all. It was one of them ones with all due. That was some moves. Okay. But yeah, it was one of them ones where Aston Villa in that first 15-20 minutes, you would have thought they were the home team. They were fantastic because I actually watched the whole match back on the delay. If I miss it live, I will watch that and then I will watch MOTD for the highlights, not the other way round. But the fact of the matter is, we kept playing across and back. It was very pedestrian. We were trying to, similar to the criticism of Arsenal, we were trying to find the perfect goal, and we didn't test Guzan enough. We had 1-2 shots on target all game. Guzan was barely tested. As said, we were trying to penetrate 2 banks of 4 at all times, and we were just not quick enough. When we had the ball for counter-attacks, we were just not quick enough. We legitimately were not quick enough getting back to front. It was very pedestrian. So we flopped, and Sterling was rested. Rodgers, I don't think he'll regret that decision, to be perfect frank, because we got Ludogorets in the week. And Ludogorets should not be underestimated. Like I said 2 weeks ago when the draw was made, don't underestimate Ludogorets because they're the unknown entity. And Basel, well, we saw what happened about 11 years ago. So it's one of them ones. Can't underestimate anyone in the Champions League. So it's one of them. Where did he get that flower from?
Pocket.
Go on, player. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. Eh? Love you, Haaland.
No, but a couple of things to say about the Liverpool game.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of performance.
Big shout out to Bernie, actually, who's an Aston Villa fan.
A big shout out to my cousin Wayne, who is a Villa fan as well. Then. Will and Bernie, you might know each other, but anyway, but Liverpool, to me, they didn't turn up. They, I think by the performance, it looked like you thought you could walk the game. That's the way it honestly looked like. And also, Brendan Rodgers was given a start to a lot of his new boys like Markovic. But I gotta say, he looked pretty decent on the right wing. But what I was confused.
His impact diminished as the game
as
went
it
on.
would.
And
As
Lallana being
as-
played wide is not going to be a regular thing. It can't.
As it would though, because he's trying to find match fitness again. It's only 4 games again.
Yeah,
You've got to stress that a lot to people out there. It's only 4 games.
Of course, and like I said last week, it's a case of within the first, because of how open the league is, within the first 10 to 15 games, it would only be a source of consternation to me if out of the first 15 games we were beaten like 4 or 5 times. That's where it would be a source of consternation. Apart from that, the league's so open, other teams are going to drop points.
Well, it's one of those things. It's till Christmas, isn't it? You give your team till Christmas to see where they're truly at. That's when you're really going to know where your team's based in the league. But
losing 3-4 games early just gives you a little less wriggle room when it comes to the kind of New Year period.
Yeah, definitely.
That means you've got to pick up more points.
Yeah,
that's all it means.
But going back to Liverpool, what I was confused about, is Sterling. Like, you say you're resting Sterling in that sort of match. Now, you ain't got Daniel Sturridge that's injured. You've lost Suarez, who's gone out, and that leaves you dry for options up top. Right, you got Balotelli, but Balotelli by himself, to me, he isn't.
Balotelli, Lambert, Barini.
No, but Balotelli as a sole striker by himself, to me, that doesn't really work. It wasn't really the favoured system of Man City when they used to play him. They played him up top with Tevez or Dzeko, whoever he was playing with. True.
Yeah, but at the same time, he didn't get a great deal of service because, as I said, we were playing against 2 banks of 4, so it was difficult to get much into.
But that's the thing. For me, Balotelli needs a secondary player that's really close to him, that's playing really close to him, or playing side by side with him, and that player isn't necessarily the same type of player as he is. And I know you had Lallana behind him, Coutinho.
Well, no, Coutinho was out. Sorry, Lallana was out wide, and Coutinho generally plays in that number 10 role. But he wasn't close enough.
No, wait. But if you watch the match, they were switching roles, Coutinho and Lallana constantly.
Well, Coutinho wasn't switching with Lallana.
Lallana was drifting in.
Lallana
was drifting in, and Coutinho was drifting out.
Coutinho was staying in the middle. For large periods of the game, Coutinho was basically just locked in the middle, and Lallana was making us a little lopsided by coming inside, which is why I say I wouldn't put Lallana wide on a regular basis.
Well, then again, you just have to look at that and you say that's a system that them two players need to learn from one another. Then.
Yeah, of course.
Basically.
Yeah, of course. And it's one of them ones. It's not,
to me, to leave out Raheem Sterling was a mistake. I do believe that was a mistake. And also, I think another big mistake of Brendan Rodgers is he keeps building Raheem Sterling. He keeps saying that I'm going to protect the boy. I need to protect the boy, blah, 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 because, he doesn't want him to, he wants to shield him from the press and all of that sort of thing. But then you also then build him up on the same level as saying he's going to be the next Messi and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, protecting him and building him up to be the next Messi, doesn't really fit into the...
When did he say that? Because I've heard...
He compares him with Messi. He's done it on a couple of occasions.
In terms of style of play?
In terms of style of play and in terms of attitude and in terms of,
so he's not
moving on forward.
So he's not going... So he's not saying he's going to be the next Messi. He's not said that.
No, he's saying he can be the next Messi.
Can be, okay.
I
just want to clarify because there's a huge difference between someone can be the next someone and someone will be the next someone. I just wanted to clarify that there's a massive difference. It's kind of like the difference between oil and water. There's quite a difference there.
Yeah,
it's not just about what you say; it's how you say it.
Yeah, but he's saying he can be the next Messi. That means he's actually...
And I don't believe in this. I personally don't believe in this whole one player can be a next player.
Wait.
Anyway,
he's actually saying, I believe he can be the next Messi. That means he's strong. He's given a strong indication saying that player there can be the next Messi.
Can be, yeah. Not will be.
Not being...
If he said will be,
but can
then
be.
You could... Then it's like, all right, slow your roll. But can be... One of them ones. We'll see. We'll
where he could equally say he could be the next Alan Shearer, which is a totally different player from Messi.
And a totally different player from Sterling. But yeah.
Okay then. But I'm just saying I thought it was a mistake leaving him out. Liverpool needed his pace.
He made an instant impact when he
And
came
did.
on.
And you know, he came like in a more central role, just behind you know, just in the middle of the park, and you know, he was causing havoc. He was causing Sonderos was all over the place at one point.
Sonderos was all over the place on a general basis. I
But
mean, I
credit
said that kick against Balotelli, it was like, Bridget, there's no need for that.
But credit to Sonderos, he had those kicks and that sort of thing, but he had a solid match, and he, you know, him and his defensive partner kept a clean sheet.
I mean, it was one of them ones. I said to a few people that we should beat Villa, and Sonderos has got 3-4 mistakes in him per game. And there was one glaring mistake that he made, the kick on Balotelli, but it never got punished.
But having said that, though, I do agree with what you said.
And I said I'm not blaming that for us losing. I've said why we lost.
No, I think the reason why you lost, right? You underestimated Villa, who were in a decent vein of form right now.
Yeah.
Arguably the best vein of form over the last few years, probably since Martin O'Neill was in charge. The best vein of form since then.
I was going to say, we've seen Villa start the season well before.
No, but I mean, in terms of consistency, they have been very good early on. The other thing is, as well, I'd also say that both eyes, not just one eye, both eyes were looking at Tuesday.
Yeah, I said there was the look ahead factor when it should have been a proving ground.
And that I honestly feel cost you. Then of course, you know, there's the whole thing with Lallana and Coutinho. I think in that sort of situation, you play one or the other. I think Sterling either needed to be introduced earlier, probably at halftime, or he needed to start and then be substituted.
Yeah.
I think that Balotelli still needs time to settle into the squad. I know you would play him in that game for that, but when you think that he's probably going to be the leading man against Ludogorets anyway,
Yeah.
he could have come on as a substitute probably for Lambert if he wanted to go with the Southampton connection.
Yeah.
With Lallana and Lambert, he could have come on for Lambert later on in the game for a cameo, just to, you know, improve his sharpness ahead of Tuesday. So I think his selection was a bit of a mistake, and that's it really. Overall, I just think it was, you know, generally overlooking Villa, arrogance on the part of Brendan Rodgers, and
I
of
wouldn't
course,
say arrogance.
and then of course looking to Tuesday.
I
And
wouldn't say
you know,
arrogance.
you're
I'd
not-
say look ahead factor.
You know, obviously not looking at what Villa could do in the form that they're in. But having said all that, though, you know, I think this is where the crux of the puzzle is for Brendan Rodgers this season, is balancing the league, you know, in terms of his squad.
Yeah.
Against the lower level teams, shall we say? The cup.
Oh, golazo! Goal! Enner Valencia on 49 minutes. Enner Valencia has just scored an absolute belter on 49 minutes for West Ham, and just as we're watching it, picks up the ball just off centre and wham! He's gonna cut in a second, and then oi! That is a goal of the week contender.
He just
That's a
shifted
late
it.
goal of the week
He
contender.
dribbles, he stops, he shifts it.
Stop! Wham! Stop! Collaborate and shoot. It's one of them ones.
Wow.
Oh my God! It was that was a fantastic.
That really
he just
was
shifted it.
That really was a golazo.
Wow! I got Enner Valencia, goal of the week contender.
Golazo.
You know what? Speaking of goal of the week contenders, let's shift on because we've got also from Saturday 13th of September 2014, Barcelona 2, Athletic Bilbao 0. Neymar scoring on 79 minutes, and he scored again on 84 minutes. Real Madrid in the Madrid derby, Real Madrid 1, Atletico Madrid 2. Thiago opened the scoring on 10 minutes with a near post header. And Ronaldo scored a penalty on 26 minutes. But Arda Turan on 76 minutes. What? Oh, it's quality.
Golazo.
It's quality finish.
Another golazo.
Yeah, man. Quality.
And I mean, when you're talking about, like, he just come on as a substitute.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way that he took it, absolutely fantastic. And the celebration was just like, dude, I does this.
This
is what I do.
What dude comes out JB Smooth. That's how I do's it.
It was like, wow.
It was fantastic.
Wow.
Speaking of wow, Sunday 14th September 2014. Your result, Jesse.
Well, you know, what can I say? Manchester United 4, QPR 0. And I have to say this, for as good as Manchester United were, right, I have to say that, honestly, right,
Honestly,
QPR
you loved it.
No. For every part, Manchester United were good. QPR were absolutely awful. Okay, Angel Di Maria scored after 24 minutes. Free kick. It was a cross. And you know whose
Yeah,
view?
of course it was.
You know whose view I want on this when I'm done speaking on this? Mr. Jamie Bailey, right? Because personally, I feel Rob Green should have done better with that.
Oh yeah.
But
But at the same time, it's a bit harsh blaming Rob Green because that's one of them ones you expect someone to get a touch on it.
And the penalty box was
so for
crowded.
a keeper, that's kind of a dangerous one because you're always like, crap. If someone gets a touch, if I go early and someone gets a touch, I'm going to look a mug.
Yeah.
But if no one gets a touch and I go late, I look a mug.
Yeah.
The latter of which happened.
Yeah.
And
Herrera scored Man United's second goal after 36 minutes. Reminiscent of what? Well, I have to say Paul Scholes. I mean, absolutely, brilliant build-up play.
Oh.
Personally, I felt Wayne Rooney was selfish because he actually went for the shot just before the ball bounced back to him and he played the pass. When, to me personally, he should have played the pass anyway. Like, if he's really looking to build the move, don't shoot there. Just play the pass.
Yeah.
Herrera's already making his run. Just play the pass. Let him run onto it. Let him hit it like how he hit it. Like how this is going to get hit. No, I didn't hit it. But,
let me hit it.
Let me hit it. Anyway, fantastic goal. Fantastic. That went exactly where we intended it to go. Rob Green had absolutely no chance. No chance. And then just before halftime, Wayne Rooney, right? Here's the thing. That was a fantastic finish. Absolutely fantastic finish. Because he's got no right to beat Rob Green at his near post. None whatsoever. It was that the finish was that good. That good a finish. And then, of course, Juan Mata, he scored in the 58th minute.
What's the matter with you? It just reminds me of honky tonk, mate. Biele. What's the matter with you, Biele? What's the matter with you?
My thing is, Angel Di Maria was trying to shoot. It was not a pass. It was a shot.
I love the fact that you say shoot just after I mentioned honky tonk mans. You shoot. Honky tonk mans, you shoot too.
But yeah, it was a shot. But great control by Mata, even better finish. And, to me, it could have been 5 or 6. Probably should have been 5 or 6. Falcao came on, made his debut as a substitute. He arguably
was unlucky not to score.
He should have scored. For me, he should have scored. But overall, this game was all about, how well the new signings played. I thought Daley Blind was absolutely fantastic. I think that a lot of Manchester United fans, at the minute, they were talking about Herrera was good. Herrera was great. Honestly, I thought Herrera was very, very good. But Daley Blind, he's one of those players, right? The time when you notice just how good he is when he's injured and he's not playing anymore. For all of you Man United fans who aren't really sure, I'm saying, I could kind of take Carrick over him. No. Right about now, he is the player that we need. Right about now, he's the player that we need. And he showed that. He was absolutely immense. Right? In terms of his positioning, because I was actually doing a little bit of research on how to play the 3-4-3, 3-5-2. In terms of his positioning, in terms of creating triangles.
What we do on PT, we research.
Creating triangles and diamonds and all different kinds of shapes, especially if you're in the Illuminati. It's terrible. But yeah, no, he was in the right place at the right time, always willing to receive the ball, willingly ready to go and recycle the ball in terms of creating a new move, always making himself available, and that's exactly what you want. He did his job to a T. I would actually argue that he was Manchester United's best player against QPR. That's how
Rio Ferdinand was one of the poorer ones.
That's how highly rated I rate his performance. Juan Mata was decent. I will say that. Rooney, I can kind of take him or leave him. Robin Van Persie was on the periphery. And
Wayne Rooney, you can take or leave.
Yeah,
that's your captain.
Yeah, I know, but when I say that, I mean,
I know you said there were other people you would have given it to, such as Johnny Evans, and then he went and had that performance in the Capital One Cup. But it was one of them ones. I just find that to be an interesting comment. Wayne Rooney, I can take or leave. A lot of United fans, you're not the first United fan I've seen with that kind of blasé view about Wayne Rooney. It's like, wait, the dude's your captain. You should be
No.
giving him money.
I say that in relation to his performance against QPR. In that, yes, he played some very, very nice passes, but in terms of what he could have done, or what he should have done, in my opinion, he could have been even better. That's my thing.
There's pressure that comes with being.
No, I know, right? But you brought into.
I wasn't able to play my free-flowing game last season because I was getting. No, I'm kidding.
Because
the only thing free-flowing about me at football is when I'm in the toilet going for a whiz after the match.
I was gonna say dropping a deuce. Never mind.
That's not free-flowing. Wait, hold on. Apparently, Jim Cornette says, yeah, the thing about cheese stopping you up, not true. But anyway, leaving that aside.
Wrong. So wrong.
Seeing as he's stuck for words, I was going to say we're going to move on to Palmer Milan.
But no, I was just going to say, overall, very, very performance. And I think the international break and the lack of European football will help Manchester United in terms of the team gelling and Louis van Gaal immensely this season.
Sorry.
What?
Sorry, I just saw what Mike Hardiman put in the chat. If you can find a link to that, if it's true, we'll read it in What's Up With That later on in the show. But you'll need to find, if you can find us a link to that and that story is true, that is funny. That is hilarious. That's all I can say. I will leave that.
You know, I just want to add a few things in terms of this match.
Jesse.
Oh my goodness.
If it's true, if it's true, Mike Hardiman can find us a link.
What was it? Hoffenheim?
Yeah, I'll always remember that.
That is disgusting.
Give it to me, what say? Give it to me right away. Give it to me. Well, actually, no, that was to describe Hoffenheim. But anyway, it's one of them ones. Really know how to beat a skin.
Oh my goodness.
But let's move it.
No, but G-Man, you wanted to add your 2 cents?
Yeah, I'm
or 2 pence?
I'm gonna add my £50. Yeah. All right.
Your edge note, yeah, okay.
Get me. I'm gonna
bring your edge note. I thought he was gonna add a £1 fish.
No, but what I would say is what I really want to see from this Man United team, because I think Man United, it was a great victory on Saturday, I've got to say. You know, Herrera, Blind, like you said, Wayne Rooney. I don't understand where your criticism for Wayne Rooney, not your criticism, sorry, but your down talk of him is. I think he had quite a solid match as a captain.
Here's my thing. He was solid, yeah. But for me, he could have been spectacular. He could have been, right? I'm talking specifically about a lot of his passing.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't necessarily need to play a lot of the Hollywood passes. He needed to buy into the transitional play of that fluid formation.
Yeah.
Which is essentially, if there's no pass forward, go backwards. Always look in the triangle. If your first option isn't open, take the second one. You don't always have to go forward to attack. Sometimes you can go backwards, the ball can be recycled, you can start to move again.
Yeah.
So for me, in a lot of his passing, he was wasteful, right? The second goal that Herrera scored, right? Rooney tried to shoot straight away. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have the striker's instinct.
Yeah.
Essentially, the shot was never on.
Yeah.
That was never on, right? The pass to Herrera was always on. Why not play the pass the first time rather than trying to take a shot? Go for the glory yourself. Like, this is about the team. You're buying into the team philosophy, yeah, or you're not. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
for
but
me, that was selfish.
The thing is, look at Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's 367 games, yeah, for United, or in the Premier League. 175 goals. That's what he does. That's why he's always going to strike the ball. He's joint top leading goal scorer of the Premiership with Thierry Henry, or along those lines, yeah. And that's what Wayne Rooney is looking to do: score goals.
No, and I understand that. But at that point,
all this him going a bit further back, you know. Yeah, we'll roll on in a minute. I'm talking, but yeah, all this, he's going to drop further back. And you know, Patrick Kluivert was saying a lot. Talking about a lot of it during the game. You know, if Van Persie and Falcao are in front of Rooney, Rooney's probably going to play that position just behind the two strikers.
Which he did.
Yeah, which he did. He's still he's not his game's not going to mature where he's going to start passing the ball all the time. You know that because it's Wayne Rooney. He's going to strike it.
I'm not saying he has to pass the ball all the time. That's not it. What I'm saying is he needs to pass the ball more than what he did. In that, if the shot is not clearly on, right? If he honestly does not believe that he was ball from there, don't take the shot. If someone's in a better position, right, continue to move.
But my point is, he's not a midfielder. He's a striker. He's naturally going to do that. He's adapting his game, but he is naturally just going to bang the ball. That's what Wayne Rooney does, and he scores goals, and he's effective.
He naturally bangs the
But
ball
what I
as
will
well
also-
as a few other things.
But what I
that's
will
his personal.
also say, yeah, is during that game, it wasn't about Wayne Rooney. It was about Di Maria. Di Maria took that game, and to me, he looked like Giggs. He looked like Giggs of the second coming. I don't know what your views on that are, but to me, he looked like he's going to be so exciting down that left flank. Yeah, he will provide for Man United.
No, he was absolutely electrifying. There's no two ways about that. But as I said to you, right, sometimes the ball has to be recycled in terms of the move. And at that point, when he went for the shot, right, yes, he was fortunate for the ball to come back to him and to lay it off to Ander Herrera and Herrera to finish how he did, right? But I'm like, if you take that initial shot off, out of the move, yeah, hold the ball up, lay it off, it's the same end result. So why not do that?
Yeah, but I just want to compare one thing. Yeah. You're talking about Van Persie tried that at the end with Falcao, trying to set Falcao up for his first goal. But Van Persie could have struck the ball like he would have done if he was at Arsenal, yeah, and he most likely would have scored from the position that he was in. Like, for me, strikers that try to do what they're not used to doing, it just doesn't work for them.
Fair enough.
You know what? Let's shift on to our next result. Parma 4, Milan 5, and yes, this sounds crazy.
That sounds crazy.
But the fact of the matter is, there were a couple of red cards in this actually, but there were a number of goals.
9 to be.
Bonaventura opened the scoring on 25 minutes. Cassano equalised on 27. Felipe scored on 51 after Honda had scored on 37, and Menez had scored a penalty on 45. But Lucarelli scored on 73. De Jong scored on 68. Yes, Nigel De Jong, and his perseverance with his goal, it was perseverance being rewarded. But Menez's goal on 79 minutes was just utter mockage. Dude put it around the goalkeeper, ran around the other side of the goalkeeper, and then back heels it in. Utter mockage. But De Siglio scored an 89th minute goal, which was hilarious because the ball was played back by the defender. I love the fact the ball was played back, and then the keeper. And then Mo Diame has scored on 64 minutes. Hull City lead 2-1. Mo Diame scoring on 64 minutes. But the De Siglio own goal was hilarious because the keeper went down and he went down clutching his hamstring, and it was like, Bridget, no, you ain't got no hamstring injury. Stop trying to cover up. Stop trying to cover up the fact that you flopped. That, like Ben Foster, -5 stars is your rating. Is one level. That was terrible. That was terrible. Thank you very much. Good night. See you later. But Mo Diame's goal, another goal of the week contender.
Oh yeah, very, very tidy finish. And you know what? I like that he didn't celebrate, but I think that was Elf for having jumping into Steve Bruce. Brilliant.
I just remember that when Hull got promoted. Saki's dancing in a techno ring. Man just went to see Big Fish Little Fish go box. But
absolutely fantastic game. Doesn't really show what Serie A is all about, but if you're talking about a fantastic,
far from it as you can get.
If you're talking about a game for the neutrals, that was it. I think
the second sending off, by the way, the Parma sending off, it was like, why is he sending off for? Utterly terrible decision.
I think that defensively, AC Milan need to work it all out. Definitely going to need to tighten up. But as I say, overall, fantastic result for the neutrals. Don't think I don't see you in my periphery. I see you.
What, in your peripheral?
I see you in my periphery.
No, I'm kidding. But hey, it's one of those. It was fantastic. But you know what? Yeah. You know what? It is.
Shout out to Naz, by the way. That periphery thing, that's all about you.
Oh no, I was thinking Cat Williams. seeing people in your peripheral. In your peripheral. You always got to do the voice. And West Ham are level with a goal that dribbled across the line. Keeper's got to be doing a little better there. Keeper has to be doing a lot better there. 66 minutes, Hull City 2, West Ham 2, and they barely held on to that lead for what, 3 minutes, if that.
At best.
It was one of them ones. That is an utterly awful goal to concede from Hull City.
That is the goalkeeping howler.
So on them ones, all I can say is Sam Greenham, Elliot Waller, Matt Whitfield, part of the PT family, shout outs, and that was a terrible goal to concede.
Is that Davis?
Yeah, it's Curtis Davis, OG.
Fantasy.
But it's one of them ones. You know what?
Let me be a fantasy.
Don't ever do that again. No, I'm kidding. One of them ones. I finally can say that to someone else. I finally can say that to someone else.
That's a tune, though.
Oh, of course. Of course. Let me be your fantasy is definitely a tune, but the rating for your impression of it. Oh, dear. Oh dear.
Well,
we knew that was
First time tonight, right now. Right, it's an OG. But you know what? It is one of them ones. It is what it is. It is one of them ones where we are going to. Oh my God, it's been fun. We are going to just drop into a quick little message. So we will be back in a couple of minutes. We will see you shortly. The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
The G-Man.
Samir Sawni, Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/pitchtalk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website www.pitch-talk.com.
The Monday Night Football is brought to you by and in association with.
Facilities are provided for your Monday Night Footballing fix by In Situ. Create, engage and inspire by visiting insitu.co.
Simply Exclusive Entertainment. If you need a party or rave film, go to sxemedia.com for more information.
Apparently Rich. Simple yet effective web solutions to help get your company off the ground. Visit Apparently Rich for more information. And LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video. If you need a video filmed and or edited, check out ljaproductions.co.uk. LJA Productions, the new blood in digital video, offering video production services such as video editing, video encoding for the web including YouTube and Vimeo, audio recording, filming of interviews, promos, live events, and much more. Get in touch at www.ljaproductions.co.uk or twitter.com/LJA Productions and let the new blood in digital video promote you. Pitch Talk is brought to you by and in association with
the one-stop shop for all your coaching needs, Motivate Sports and Fitness. Check out motivatesportsandfitness.com for more information.
The new football culture magazine, White Line. Check out finwhitelinemagazine.com for more information.
Storm FM with new hot releases played daily. Feel the boom at stormfm.net.
Two girls with their Bonnie Scotty trying to cover as much women's football as they can. Girls on the Ball. Check out girlsontheball.com for more information.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
Dave McLaughlin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening
And you're listening to Pitch Talk.
The only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
Genuinely, talking points.
Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow.
I like the way, I like the way, I like the way. I like the way, I like the way you.
Wow, wow. I like the way you wow, wow.
Let's go. I like the way you do your thing. I like the way you do your thing. I like the way, I like the way, I like the way, I like the way.
This is Pitch Talk. Yeah, we are in General Talking Points. And you know what, yeah? Got a couple of interesting ones actually. The kind of flip side, kind of showing flips. But before that,
I like the way, 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 I like the way you do your thing.
yeah, Francis Benali completes 1,000-mile stadium challenge from the 13th of September 2014. Former professional footballer Francis Benali completed a 3-week 1,000-mile, 1,600-kilometer challenge running to all 20 Premier League grounds. Similar to what 96 Plus One did. It's one of them was, right? It's fantastic. Sorry, 92 plus 1, I should say. But Francis Benali, who made more than 300 appearances for Southampton Football Club, embarked on the run to raise money for Cancer Research UK. He has raised more than £100,000 for the charity. Mr. Benali started at St James's Park in Newcastle and finished at Southampton St Mary's Stadium. Arriving during half-time against Newcastle United, he ran a lap of the pitch at half-time to a standing ovation from supporters. Now, you know what, yeah? That is absolutely fantastic. In terms of something for charity and the charity he did it for, I think that's absolutely fantastic, to be perfectly frank. So I'm all for that. I mean, it's brilliant. And also in terms of another note, in terms of another kind of charity run, it was actually to do where was it? It actually was to do with Run for Rob. for Mr. Rob Evans as well. This is from Alex Minshall, who is the chairman of IBIS FC. The legends that are Furnace, Barry Clark of the Senses, thank you for the £3,000 booster, 3K booster, and well done to everyone at IBIS FC who helped change people's lives with our Run for Rob campaign. Together we could do great things. We smashed the £5,000 target and got to 10K. Big love, RIP Rob. And you know what? That's one thing I love about football, that it brings people together. And it's just one of the ones. I love that. I love that. Run for Rob smashing the 10K barrier, and Francis Benali smashing the 100K barrier in terms of raising money for Cancer Research UK. I mean, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Gotta love it. But you know what? That's football bringing people together. But actually, guys, what do you think about this? About these two before we move on?
Well, I honestly thought that both of those things are fantastic, and you know, I say this week in, week out with all of the fabulous things that we find, and that's what Pitch Talk is about. You know, putting the spotlight on things like that. That, you know, honestly, this is the part, as you pointed out. You know, football that personally I love the most. In that, it doesn't matter who you support. That bit is not important. It's a bit that you love football. You know, or to be able to give back something like that is absolutely fantastic. People involved in both of those things. You know, many congratulations to you. And, you know, from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of myself, the G-Man, and of course Straight Stricken One, thank you. You know, I honestly cannot express my gratitude for you guys doing what you do. Keep up the fantastic work, and you know, on behalf of everybody that all this money raised is going to benefit, thank you again.
I'll go with that. Definitely like that. I mean, it's one of them ones. We'll have a bit more on IBIS and a couple of other clubs actually in the grassroots segment, because there have been a couple of interesting things that actually have been happening. So it's gonna be one of them. You know what? Yeah. You know what? One thing that is absurd. We go from the fantastic to the absurd, because Paulo Bento sacked as manager of Portugal after Albania defeat from September 11th, 2014. Quite a significant day, of course. But Paulo Bento was sacked as Portugal's coach on Thursday following a poor World Cup and a dreadful start to the Euro 2016 qualifying campaign, the FPF said on Thursday. A statement on the Portuguese Football Association's website said Bento's contract had been terminated. Portugal failed to survive the group stage of the World Cup and were beaten in their opening Euro 2016 qualifying tie at home to Albania on Sunday. Now, you know what, yeah? The fact, I said, this is the absurd. And why get rid of Paulo Bento now? So I don't get. What, a defeat to Albania and an abject World Cup? Correct me if I'm wrong, but ain't Portugal an average team without Cristiano Ronaldo? And they're average even when he's in that team as well. So I don't know where they get Osaka and Bento from, and who's going to take that? Who is there to take that job now? That's the thing. I mean, Mourinho's getting linked, obviously, and he apparently has said that he probably wouldn't be able to turn it down. But he's with Chelsea, so you know that contract's ironclad.
But losing to Albania is horrible.
Oh yeah, of course.
You have to.
Albania are not known for anything, let alone playing football.
Put it into context. After a poor World Cup and then go and lose your first qualifier in the Euros to Albania, it's just not looking good for you. You know, if you put it in comparisons to basically the likes of, I can't remember. You know that manager that got sacked at the beginning of the season? After what again?
Oh, from Huddersfield, yeah,
Huddersfield? Yeah, he got sacked.
Robbins, yeah.
What was it that you said in regards to him?
It's moronic.
No. What did you say in regards to him being sacked? The fact that he was sacked after 18 months before having
18 months of poor results.
Poor results. So
yeah.
It's effectively the same thing for
Bento. Very similar for Bento. You know. Yeah. But then Bento is dealing, as said, it's one of them. He is dealing with an average team. Portugal are not that great. I mean, it's like what I was saying to you guys when I got them in the when I got them in the kind of Sainsbury's office pool, I was like, if Cristiano Ronaldo's playing, then that's not bad a pick, but apart from that, it's like, can I pick again? So it's one of them ones. So it's a mad one. But Hull really are trying. West Ham really are trying to turn the screw. Sorry, Hull. But yeah, I mean, Tom Wood, you mentioned something, and welcome to the show, by the way. Who do you reckon should take over at Portugal?
I'd say Carlos Queiroz.
Managed him already, isn't he? Yeah, he's already kind of had his chance. It'd be interesting if they took him on again, but I can't see the same thing happening twice. No,
what about AVB? If the right offer come up, I wouldn't be surprised if AVB went for it. Even though he's with Zenit St. Petersburg, but I think it'd be a good shout.
If they gave him a serious offer, I think he would definitely look at it. That's my thought on it. I'd also think that he probably is the way to go, in that he probably knows a lot of the young talent that's available in Portugal, and can probably shift on a few of the older players, bring in some exciting younger players. Especially for example, a centre forward. There's absolute dearth when you look at the players that have been picked for the national team previously. It's normally the same old names. So I think he can unearth some new talents to go and play through the middle, get the most out of probably the likes of Nani, who for me is underperformed for the last few years. I think he can get that midfield three really going, and once he sorts out who one of his centre backs is to play alongside Pepe, or if he gets Bruno Alves to start performing. Listen, this Portugal team, on paper at least, are formidable anyway. When you look at the skillful players that they have, right? When I say that they're formidable anyway, I'm talking about if you were to rate them in Football Manager, FIFA 15, Pro Evolution Soccer 2015, they're gonna get a decent rating. They are, because the players are more than capable. Their problem is they don't play as a team. They don't have
similar to Real Madrid.
They don't have an out-and-out centre forward, right? And they are overly reliant, ridiculously so, on their captain fantastic Cristiano Ronaldo.
But then my question with AVB is a pick. It might look good on paper, but will he be able to get the respect of the senior players, especially after what the stories that we've all heard about what happened with AVB at Chelsea?
Well, I would say this, right? The thing about this Portugal squad, and it's been this way for a very long time, even in the days of Luis Figo and Rui Costa, right? And even, to a lesser extent, even Nuno Gomez, right? This is a team that's always had the technical ability but underperformed. They very much remind me of the Netherlands, with the difference being the Netherlands actually have won something. So my issue with this, in terms of them not having the respect, I honestly feel that this Portugal team, that group of players that would be in his squad, they would want to be able to go on to that next level and do something. And the only way that they're going to do that is to buy into what AVB is going to do and perform. There is literally no other way. I honestly do not believe that their performances at the Euros and the World Cup over the last 2 tournaments sit well with any of them. So for me, either they buy into what he's trying to do, or they forget it. It really is that simple. And if you want to talk about having their respect, all they need to do is look at what he did at Porto. That's in his home country. What more do you want?
No, I'm glad you brought up the Porto angle, actually. That's an interesting, because some might just look at Chelsea and just think, oh well, you messed up there, and it's like, well, it was set up for him to fail anyway. You could see it. No, I can't say that on here. Roman Abramovich is kind of he's very much a trigger happy chappy as a chairman. So I mean, Mike Hardiman, you got a shout on this?
I've got something to add before you throw it to
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, sure. All right, go on, Jimmy.
You know what? In terms of what you said about AVB, I honestly think you're on the right track. I think a young manager like himself and his, I was gonna, it's gonna counterattack my argument, but let me just get straight to the point. Basically, I was gonna say AVB would be the good choice, but I reckon his reputation precedes him, because it's not just at Chelsea, it's at Tottenham, and it's the media as well. I think, it will have a big impact on him. Yeah, just not getting the right results. And you know, he won't get the same sort of respect that Roy Hodgson's getting at the moment, because Roy Hodgson has got the full. I think Roy Hodgson has got the full backing of the FA. All right, he doesn't.
Of the FA, yeah, but not the parasitic
wait.
meat.
He doesn't necessarily get the full backing of
or fans even
media and the fans, but he gets the backing of who he needs it from. Yeah, but I think with someone like AVB going into a position like that, with his failures at Chelsea and Tottenham, I think that could be the hindrance on him, holding him back, because you know, I just think the Portugal FA will look at him, and you know, if you're looking at him and then you're weighing him up against a Mourinho as another candidate, you know, he is the cheaper candidate, and any mistake he makes.
I understand your point, I do, right? But my counter argument to all of that is this: if you really don't believe in him, why are you appointing him in the first place? That's my biggest thing. If you do not believe that he is your guy, why are you appointing him?
He hasn't been appointed though. But
No, I know. In our hypothetical scenario where he is, where you're saying now you're not really sure if the FA would be behind him, so on and so forth. If they're not behind him, don't appoint him. It's really that simple. You have to pick your guy that you believe are going to be the one that's going to lead you forward. Right? Now, I was mentioning off air that I was watching the Football's Greatest documentary, and I watched Giovanni Trapattoni's one this morning. Right? When he moved to Bayern Munich, right, the board at Bayern Munich approached him and said, "We want you. Come to us." Now, initially, right, I think it was like after like 10 months, he was sacked, and then they brought him back anyway. And then after that, he won the league and the cup, and went on to actually dominate in German football. My thing is this: they sought him. He didn't go and seek them. So if they're going to pick him in our hypothetical situation, they have to back him. Otherwise, there's literally no point.
I mean, Mike Harneman, you had a shout on this?
Yeah, I think AVB is not a bad shout, but I think, like you're saying, his reputation could go a bit against him. But that's where you could bring somebody in like Ricardo Carvalho, I reckon, who's got a load of caps there. He's got past experience working with the squads. He's got, obviously, being the former national captain as well. And I think he could help, and he could do like his qualifications to get like his managerial level up while he's working under AVB or like with AVB.
He'd have I think you're right. He'd have the credibility at least. So it'd be like, how many caps have you got? Look how many caps I've got. I've got the experience.
Oh, is he gonna go Old Spice?
Look at my caps. Look at your caps. Especially to Nani. So one of them was, look at my caps. Look at your caps. Look at my achievements. Look at your achievements. Now look back at my achievements and shut your face and do what you're told. Alright. Or do what you're told, or I've got two words for you. Okay, Ricardo, I'll start showing you some respect. I'm not going to finish that one, but yeah, this is what that was. But you know what? Let's pause that track, because we are going to roll quickly into... We are actually going to roll into a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And thank you to the PT family for your views so far.
Because we're loving it.
What the? It's the MCDT. It's the DT. DT's funny. DT and MC Creek. Greta. It's the DT. Funny guys. But let's go into...
Pitch Talks special feature.
Yeah, it's the PT special feature, Future of the Game, and we're focusing on money in football this week. UEFA fined Manchester City €60 million and restricted Champions League squad. This was from the 16th of May 2014. UEFA fined Man City £49 million and restricted their Champions League squad to 21 for this season for the breach of financial fair play rules. The club owned by Sheikh Mansour snatched the league title last weekend at this point. But they'll have to curb their spending in transfer market for the next 2 seasons and freeze their wage structure in order to escape further punishment. French champions Paris Saint-Germain, who are charged with similar breaches, have been hit with the same punishment. Should the club successfully fulfill the operational and financial measures agreed with the UEFA club financial control body, they will be able to reclaim 40 million euros of the fine and have the squad restriction lifted in time for the 2015-2016 Champions League. Now, I'm going to come back to that. Man City accepted the sanctions, so it's one of them was, and to significantly limit spending in the transfer market for seasons 2014-2015 and 2015-2016, said UEFA. Now, Champions League blow for Man City and Paris Saint-Germain softened. So on June 11th, though the 2 clubs were punished for failure to comply with financial fair play with reduced squads for European competition, the required number of homegrown players is relaxed. I'm going to stick on this in a minute. Man City and Paris Saint-Germain will only have to name 5 homegrown players in their reduced 2014 and 2015 Champions League squads. Under UEFA rules, 8 members of a full-size Champions League squad must be home-trained, and had this number been retained in the reduced City and PSG A-list, their room for manoeuvre in the transfer market might have been significantly hindered. However, following pressure from International Players Union FIF Pro, which was concerned about the potential impact of the punishments on its members, City and PSG will only need to select 5 homegrown players into their streamlined groups. Anyway, Manchester City's FFP fine to be shared out among Champions League clubs. This is from Tuesday 9th of September 2014. Man City's huge fine for breach of UEFA's financial fair play rules is to be shared out around the other clubs in the Champions League. City were fined £49 million for the FFP breaches, but will only have to pay around $20 million if they comply with the break-even rules in future seasons. The first payments from City, Paris Saint-Germain, and also Zenit St. Petersburg will total $20 million and will be split among the Champions League and Europa League clubs who did comply with the rules last season. A similar sum will be distributed to clubs who comply with the FFP rules in this season's European competitions. That means Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Swansea and Wigan are the English clubs in line for a windfall of around £200,000. The European Clubs Association, Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, said UEFA had agreed the fines should go to other clubs. Now, an interesting one, coming back to May again, from the 29th of May, Torino to replace Parma in the Europa League after losing UEFA appeal. The Emilian outfit have had their appeal against the UEFA ban dismissed after withholding a huge tax bill, allowing Gianpiero Ventura's side to feature in the competition. Torino will take Parma's spot in this season's Europa League after the Ennio Tardini side were not granted a UEFA license. Parma had finished 6th in Serie A after a dramatic final day of action. Pippin Ventura's men to the post thanks to a 2-0 win. But they got barred from European competition after they were judged to have withheld a figure of just under £300,000 in income tax. They had lodged an appeal to the High Court, but it refused to overturn the decision, meaning that Torino will take their place. Now, speaking of transfers and bans and embargoes and all that kind of thing, Barcelona can buy and sell players this summer after FIFA suspended its ban on the club. It's from the 23rd of April 2014. The Spanish Giants were given a 14-month ban after being found to have breached rules on signing international players under the age of 18. However, the suspension was on hold pending an appeal. FIFA rejected the appeal on the 20th of August 2014 against the transfer ban. Barcelona will be unable to sign players until January 2016 once the current transfer window had closed, which it now has. After the world governing body FIFA rejected the club's appeal against the transfer ban, the Spaniards were given the 14-month ban after being found to have breached rules on signing international players under the age of 18. It was suspended, which allowed them to sign Luis Suarez from Liverpool, as well as Vermaelen from Arsenal, Claudio Bravo from Real Sociedad, and Ivan Rakitic as well. But you know what? One important thing in terms of financial fair play, UEFA has defeated on the 20th from back on the 20th of May 2014, UEFA defeated the legal challenge to its financial fair play rules, which have been upheld by the European Commission. The rules, which require clubs to move towards financially breaking even and have recently been enforced for the first time, were challenged last year by Daniel Striani, a player's agent registered in Belgium. Striani, represented by Belgian lawyer Jean-Louis Dupont, argued that regulations would restrict investment in clubs, lock in the power of the big clubs by preventing others indulging in huge spending, and dampen down players' wage and transfer fee inflation. In a letter sent to Striani, copied to UEFA, the European Commission rejected the complaint, saying it does not intend to investigate it any further. It argued that financial fair play rules apply to clubs, not to players' agents, and therefore Striani has no legitimate interest in complaining about them. The European Commission said Striani's complaint that FFP would decrease transfer activity had not been further substantiated, and it had received no other complaints at all in almost 4 years since the rules were introduced. No club has made a complaint to the European Commission, which noted that it was widely consulted about the rules before they were passed. The clubs, organisations and leagues represented at UEFA unanimously supported the rules being introduced. Now, lots to take in there. But UEFA defeating, I'll take this in reverse order. UEFA defeating a legal challenge to financial fair play rules, that's all well and good. But Platini has already buggered over financial fair play anyway. He's the one who created it and came up with it, and yet he's done more to destroy the credibility of those rules. Hilarious. Platini, you know my view on you. Listen to previous PT shows if you don't believe me. But the fact of the matter is, from an ex-player, I would expect a lot more. But coming back, Barcelona, yeah, FIFA rejecting the appeal and saying, yeah, we're going to uphold this suspension. Well done, FIFA. Well done, FIFA. You've upheld the suspension after Barcelona have done all their business. Well done. Well done. Day late and a dollar short again. Blatter and Co., congratulations. And once again, the powers that be in football utterly frustrate me. Day late and a dollar short once again. But Torino replacing Parma in the Europa League after losing the UEFA appeal. It's one of them ones. It seems like the decision of that appeal went through pretty quickly. It went through pretty quickly. Because, what was it? The last day of the season, Parma got their place. And then May 29th, which was what, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, then you say, right, you're not in the Europa League anymore, Torino are taking your place. A conveniently quick decision, eh? Conveniently quick. See what happens when you're a smaller club? But Man City's financial fair play fine to be shared out among the Champions League clubs, along with Paris Saint-Germain and Zenit St. Petersburg. I have no real problem with that. But what I do have a problem with is that, let me come back. Before I tell you the problem I have with it, I think it's a good thing that they're redistributing it amongst the other clubs because it's an incentive, a financial incentive to play within the rules, which is good. But Man City and Paris Saint-Germain's blows, Champions League blows, being softened by, yeah, you don't have to have 8 homegrown players, you have to have 5. Again, UEFA, day late and a dollar short. If you had kept it to 8, that would have been a better punishment for the pure fact that it would have made those two teams realize, oh crap, we have to have 8 players, not now out of a 21-man squad, out of a 25-man squad. Now it's a 21-man squad. Damn, we've got even less wiggle room. Now we really do have to make sure that future seasons we adhere to the rules so we don't get stung for this again, because this is going to hurt us. Once again, UEFA, once again, Platini, well done, idiots. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, again, with the original sanction, 49 million pounds, aka 60 million euros, but the clubs can can reclaim 40 million euros of that back and have the squad restriction lifted in time for next season, the 2015-2016 season. No, Virgin, no. Once again, to quote John Cena's basic thugonomics tune, like a broken needle, kid, you're missing the point, Platini. You're missing the point. You're sanctioning them, but you're basically giving them leeway and giving them a way out. It's like, no. If you're going to punish someone, follow through with the punishment. Follow through to the fullest extent of the punishment. It's like being charged with murder and getting a life sentence, but then you can get out in 10 to 15 years for good behavior. Brethren, no. No, I don't agree with that, and I don't agree with the way UEFA are doing this with FFP. Like I said a minute ago, Platini and his bunch of clowns look like they're doing everything in their own power to undermine their own goddamn rules. Oh, I'm sorry, but this is bloody frustrating. Oh God. Jazzy G, man, what do you think of this, man? Because my blood pressure's going up.
No, I have to say I'm inclined to agree with you. I really am. This is very much like what's the metaphor that I'm looking for here? There's literally no sense behind this punishment. You know, it's like an attack dog with no teeth.
There we go. There we go. I mean, it's. I mean, do you want to carry on?
For me, I'm like, for what it's worth, this whole system of quote unquote punishments, just throw it out the window, put it in the bin. Yeah, just get rid of it. Like literally, there's no point, right? If you were going to legitimately punish these teams, then punish them, right? Easing up the rules on homegrown players. No, if anything, they have to play more homegrown players.
Yeah.
Right? But you're not afraid, you're not willing to do that. Yeah, I can see the redistribution of the money from PSG and Man City, but why are you going to give it to clubs that are already rich?
Yeah. Well, it's a case of why not put it back into grassroots football or youth football?
Why not?
Or even give it, or even to the women's game. If you want to see that surviving, right?
Here's my thing, right? You can split it 3 ways, or even 4 ways, right? Portion of it goes into the pot for the Europa League to make the Europa League even more incentivized. Yeah. Portion of that goes to the women's game. Portion of that goes to youth.
Yeah,
and a portion of that
it around the game.
Yeah, and a portion of that goes to grassroots in all of those representative countries.
Yeah, next gen, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean,
Done.
UEFA have got their own version of that.
Done. Right. Instead, you want to give it to people that are already rich. How does that help the game in any kind of way, shape, or form?
Yeah.
They don't need that money, right?
I mean, in part, I'm in agreement with it because at the end of the day, at least it's a financial incentive to those playing within the rules. But there are better places that money could go.
But here's my thing, right? I know that it's important that you play within the rules, all the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. Okay? But my personal opinion on it is this. I shouldn't be paying you more money for following the rules that I've set. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Right? You already make enough money as it is from the existing rules. So me giving you this little insignificant top-up, what does that do? Nothing. Right? Because it's not going to make any sort of significance in, the positives or the negatives of what your outlay is going to be. Right? I'm like, put it somewhere else. Yeah, have strict rules as to where that goes in terms of developing the future of the game. G-Man put it out next gen. Put it all in that if you really want to. Or I tell you what, if football is really the game for the people, if it's really all about the fans, why not subsidize ticket prices? I've seen that as an idea.
Oh, yeah.
To benefit all the fans in Champions League. Go and say, right, because of this, the way that we're going to give back to the people, okay, make ticket prices cheaper. You have certain clubs within the Champions League doing that anyway. So why not do it for everyone? Make it affordable. Have more fans in the stadium. If you really want to be beneficial. But as you say, there is literally no point in saying you're going to punish someone, and then when you go to do it, it's half-hearted.
reneging on the deals.
Yeah, it's either we're punishing, right, or we're just gonna say it's all right. Whereas right about now, this is the ultimate mixed message being sent out. To the point where I would argue, what are you even aiming to do in this whole process? What is your end game? Do you even have one? And if you don't, then why are we bothering with this in the first place? You know, like, what are you trying to achieve? None of that seems to be clear here, because one minute you're taking away, or with one hand you're taking away, and the other one you're giving it back. So how are you actually developing anything if essentially you're keeping everything stagnant? That's my question. So, you know, as I say, I see all of this, and I don't see the point. Personally, right, if you're going to punish Manchester City and PSG, yeah, money, for me personally, is not the way to do it unless it's an excessive amount of money, which it's not. I would have said, if you're going to do it with money, I'd say money and the transfer ban. Transfer embargo.
But then you got the Barcelona thing,
And
where
that's-
it's like, yeah, we're going to give you a transfer ban, but we're going to suspend it, allow you to do your business, and then invoke it.
And that's the other thing. It's like, no, the embargo should have been effective immediately, and there's no negotiation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or it'd be one of them ones, effective immediately, and if your appeal is successful,
Then we'll
do it.
delay it. Yeah, but
rather than we'll hold it off, let you appeal, then after the window closes, we'll enforce it. It's like
there's literally no
a day
point.
late and a dollar short.
Literally no point. With the signings that they've made now, do they actually need to go and sign anybody in next season? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was the point? Again, in one hand you're taking away, the other one you're giving it straight back. So again, forget that. I'm like, either you're punishing them and you're saying, as I say, it's effective immediately. You can't sign anyone, and this is what we're going to do to you, or we just don't bother. For me, as I say, it's giving with one hand and taking away with the other. So what are you trying to do? You know, I look at it like, you know, the development of young children. If you tell them something's bad, you can't be telling them it's good at the same time, and that's essentially what's going on here.
And all I can say as a rating for the powers that be is
-5 stars.
But that's what I had to say about that. G-Man, what do you think?
No, you know what? I just wanted to add like something's rotten in Lucian on this one, because you know, I'm somewhat of a conspiracy theorist, and I just want to focus on Barcelona a little. You both said quite a lot on it, and just to hone in on the whole favoritism of the bigger team, and that's what it all looks like to me. Because
the Torino one.
yeah, Torino, as you said, you know, they didn't think twice about disciplining them.
Well, Parma were disciplined, and then Torino got jumped into the Europa.
Well, I'll say, yeah, Palmer. They didn't think twice about disciplining them. However, with the whole Barcelona thing, it's like, you know, because they're the Catalan giants and the Spanish big boys and European favourables, they just get favoured treatment. And you've already touched on the point about what they should have done. And for me, I hate to throw a conspiracy around, but I just think, you know, something's rotten there. You know, towards to help Barcelona get their deals through. Also, just add it with the Luis Suarez thing, Luis Suarez ban. Just add it with that, the way that shifted and moved around. So it's like it just looks doubly bad.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, Mike Harneman, you wanted to jump in as well before we move on.
Yeah, you three have all got it spot on for me. Even G-Man mentioned Luis Suarez. I've said about it in the chat. They've said, well, a number of different things about Suarez now. I think people are basically at a loss of what he's actually allowed to do and what he can't do. As for the sort of homegrown thing as well, I think, yeah, there should be more homegrown players in there, because the national team's underperforming anyway. So when the national team continues to underperform, which he's going to do without youth players being able to come through their clubs and actually, you know, be brought into the sides for their actual club sides, then there's not going to be the players there for the national teams either as well.
I mean, that's a great shout, and I mean, it's just one of them. Was for a team like Manchester City, I would have kept that at 8. I would have kept that at 8 homegrown players, and even so, the homegrown rule, as we've mentioned on shows before, has a huge loophole in it anyway. So it looks even more stupid that UEFA have reduced it. It's got
Oh, and even the Torino thing as well. That goes back to Celtic being allowed to come back into the Champions League. It's a similar situation to that all over again.
Well, at least it was one of them ones where, well, we predicted that Celtic. Well, I was hoping that Celtic it'd be like, yeah, you get reinstated. Okay, cool. I hope you lose. I hope you lose just so you don't get into the Champions League by default. So there's one of them ones.
Celtic are not there on merit, and it's exactly the same.
Well, they're down in Europa. They're down in the Europa League because they got reinstated into the qualifiers, but they got found out.
Yeah, but Celtic are not there on merit, but then neither are Torino either, because their league position, obviously they finished below whoever it was in the league, so they're not there on merit.
Yeah.
From their league position, they wouldn't be in Europe.
Yeah, I mean it's
just like Man United, you know.
Oh crap! Oh, but it's like Roma a few years ago when they got into the Champions League by default because of all the Luciano Moggi stuff. So, how was that be? UEFA, FIFA, our own FA. Maybe you want to tune in to your Monday Night Football and Fix. Actually, we should send them a link to this on Twitter. Yeah, may as well. Remember, this is your Monday Night Football and Fix, the footballing revolution. And you know what? We are live. How live are we? No, not doing that. Not falling into that trap. But you know what? It is one of them ones where we still got more show left. Starting to get into that home straight. But we got more show. We got a segment that's nearer and dear to my heart, but that I can't be as much of a part of these days. But we're getting to. Grassroots segment. Yeah. We are live with a Grassroots segment, and you know what? As the regulars will well know, regulars if you will know that of course we mentioned Ibis FC, and also we mentioned the Glemnet Southern Amateur League, which is now actually not the Glemnet Southern Amateur League anymore, because the Southern Amateur League have a brand new sponsor and also a brand new Twitter handle as well. So the Southern Amateur League are now known as @14, the word 14 SAL on Twitter. www.southernamateurleague.co.uk is still the website, and the SAL 1907 is still the Facebook page. But a big time shout out to Mr. Andy Copeland. It was good to see you at the SAL dinner back in May. But yeah, the Southern Amateur League are delighted. Southern Amateur League are delighted to announce a 3-year league-wide sponsorship deal with Swiss sportswear company 14. The deal covers sponsorship of all 19 different divisions, and henceforth the league will be referred to as the 14 Southern Amateur League. League fixtures and results will be announced on the @14SAL Twitter account, and any match photos and videos will appear on the SAL Facebook page. The SAL are extremely proud to be associated with 14, whose high-quality goods are a perfect match for the high-quality standards of the SAL and its member teams, which include Alexandra Park FC and Ibis FC, as well as many, many other sides as well. But you know what? Also based in Geneva, Switzerland, 14 creates, designs, develops, manufactures, and distributes sports and leisure wear. The 14 brand has a worldwide wholesale distribution network, and this partnership with the SAL further develops this network for the first time in the UK. 14 has a team of strong and reliable partners, which ensures that all manufacturing complies to the highest ethical, quality control, and best practice standards. 14 sees this opportunity to partner with the SAL as the perfect way to enter the UK market, and look forward to developing relationships with all of the 37 member clubs of the SAL. So the @14SAL is their new Twitter handle, and 14 of the new sponsors. Now, you know what, yeah? 3 founders of 14. We've actually got interviews with 2 of them. Andrea Picciao is one of the founders, but we have interviews with Christian Carambeau, World Cup winner and former Real Madrid player, and Philippe Wick, two of the founders of 14. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk, Pitch Talk at APFC, Pitch Talk on the road. You will see our interviews with Philippe Wick and Christian Carambeau as well. So have a look at that. YouTube.com/Pitch Talk. One of them ones. If you want to know a bit more about 14, look at Philippe Wick's interview. Now, it's one of them was coming back just a touch. Let's come back to Ibis Football Club. Ibis Football Club at gmail.com is where you need to email if you want to play for Ibis. We've got 3 teams at the moment in the 14 Southern Amateur League. Facebook.com/IBIS, ibis.fc, and Twitter.com/IBIS_football, at IBIS_football, and IBISFC.co.uk is the official website. Training is every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m. until 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, and match days are on Saturday. Now, the results from this weekend. Ibis 1's 5, AFC Old Smiths 3. Chris scored an OG. There was an OG as well. Jamie, Ben Pierre, and Craig scored as well. And the Ibis Frees actually lost 7-3 in a friendly against Cambridge Heath FC. There was an own goal for Ibis to give them a goal. And Andrew Williams scored twice. So big shout out, Andrew. It's quality. That's quality. Well in with them 2 goals. The Frees were actually supposed to start their season this week against Lloyds AFC away, but it was actually changed to a friendly after Lloyds Frees pulled out of the league last Monday. So it's one of them ones that ended up changing to a friendly. But I said, congrats to Andrew Williams for banging in 2. So it's one of them ones. It's fantastic stuff. Obviously, me and the G-Man know Andrew and Sherelle Wedderburn. Big time shout outs. Sherelle, who is Andrew's girlfriend and a very close friend of mine. So it's one of them ones. It's fantastic stuff all around. But yeah, it's one of them ones. To the Ibis boys listening, thank you, and also make yourselves available. Remember, training is on Wednesdays at the AstroTurf pitch in the all-weather AstroTurf pitch at Battersea Park. So it's one of them ones. So you know what? Another bit in the grassroots segment that we're going to give a big shout out to. Big shout out to Haringey Borough Women's FC, by the way, who are based up in North London. At HBWFC1 is their Twitter account. This was quite an interesting story that was brought to our attention by Tom Wood in regards to this segment as well. And it's about Porter's Soccerbility, who are now FA Charter Standard. They're now a FA Charter Standard club. Ibis FC are actually in the process of getting up to speed with being a Charter Standard club as well, which me and the G-Man kind of tie into because of the first aid courses. It's mandatory first aid course that you have to go on to be able to fulfill.
I just want to ask you, how much do you remember?
I still remember quite a bit, actually. Well, I've still got the handbook. I'm probably going to read through it again.
I've got a handbook.
I actually have read.
The only thing I remember is don't worry about anything. Just remember, tilt the head back, turn it over, and make sure that they're not swallowing their tongue.
Yeah. Make sure the airways are clear. It's like when I was saying to my mum, I went on first aid course, and it's like, yeah, I can tell you've been on the first aid course. I can tell you've only been on it a few days ago. But no, a big shout out to Porter's Soccerbility, who are now chartered standard. So Facebook.com/Porter's Soccerbility is their website. So their Facebook page. So big time shout outs. They had their first training session yesterday as well. There are 2 new adult players and 2 new youth team players. So it's very, very good stuff. So it's very, very good stuff from Porter's Soccerbility. Fantastic. And Tom Wood, thank you very much for bringing that story to our attention. Do you want to jump in on this story?
Yeah, I'm quite happy for the actual club, even though I wasn't there on the Saturday for the training, but they always put statuses like day after, but really happy for my manager, to be honest. But I hope we can win the league this year, as we've got two teams in 2 leagues this year, and we're starting up a women's team as well.
Oh, nice one. Oh, nice one. You know what? You got to keep us posted on the information with that as well.
Yeah, I will do.
All good. You know, we've also got Russ Vernon who wants to quickly jump in terms of Parkgate FC. Remember, we asked, he's one of them was Russ. Remember, last week we asked you to email us with the information about Parkgate so we can read it out. It's one of them ones. But what happened with Parkgate this week? If you can give us a quick little roundup of what happened with that.
Yes, in their first team, Liam, they lost 3-0 to Worksop Town on Saturday at but the reserves did very well at the weekend. They beat Kiverton Park by 3 goals to 2 on Saturday. The first team currently are sitting in 11th place in the Northern Counties East League Premier Division, while the reserves are doing quite well so far. They're up into 4th place after 7 matches on 15 points, just 3 points behind top, which is doing very well, and their website is www.pitchrow.com/clubs/Parkgate FC. Also, FC, we actually gave him, I told him that thank you to me for DM on Twitter after the last week. Sure, and they play Royal Pavilion, Green Lane, Rotherham, South Yorkshire, S62 6LA, and they're at home this week. And I think, I'm not sure where they are this weekend actually. The first team are away to Severlin Miners Welfare, while the home team are at home to Sheffield Lane Top. The first team play this coming Wednesday, Liam, so I'll drop you a tweet with the result once I find the result out of that one for the first team, and same about the reserves when I find that result out as well. But I mentioned him about the show to them via DM last week, and I think they said we're going to try and tune in if they had time. So if they are, good evening to the members of Parkgate FC. I'm Spinning. I'll be keeping you up to date with your results here, so stay tuned to your Monday Night Football and Pitch Talk for more Monday Night Football. I'm back over to the studio to Liam, G-Man and Jezzy.
Oh, good. Thank you for that, Russ. Nicely done, baby, nicely done. And by the way, on and still staying with grassroots, it's actually fantastic. Big shout out to Alex Minchell, the chairman of IBC, at Alex the Minch on Twitter, and he actually found out that the Ibis 1's result was actually mentioned in the Sunday. I think it's in the Sunday Times.
Sunday Times.
Yeah. Yes, that's absolutely fantastic. It's all that was. Look at that. It's all that was. The Ibis 1's result. Hey, so that was the 14 Southern Amateur League mentioned in the Sunday Times. Fantastic. It's a great promo for the league. So it's great stuff. I'm beaming, even though I'm not part of the ones. But that's fantastic. One of them ones, Wayne. I'm sorry, not Wayne. Mike Hardiman. You two are from the same area. That's why it confused me there. Mike Hardiman. What happened with Steve and his ladies' reserves? Give us a quick roundup of what happened, Dave.
Right, yeah, there was 2 games on yesterday. The first and the reserves both played. The reserves won 4-2 against Colney Heath at home, and the first lost 4-0 at home as well, but they were playing Colchester.
Tough defeat, but they'll roll on. There's a lot more weeks left in the season. So, what's Steve and his ladies FC's details? Facebook, Twitter.
The Facebook, I'm on it now, looking at it now, is facebook.com/Stevenage Borough, which is BOROUGH Ladies FC, and I think it's at Stevenage Borough 11 on Twitter as well, but I'm just going to double check that for you and post it in chat once it's all sorted out.
Good stuff. It's one of them ones. So it's one of them ones, man. The grassroots segment, baby. The show is very much getting seasoned, but I said, big shout outs to Porter Soccerbility. Congratulations on becoming FA Charter Standard. Big shout out to the Ibis, and congratulations on getting that one's team result, getting mentioned in the Sunday Times. It's fantastic to see that a positive result for the Ibis ones in print. It's fantastic. And also congratulations to was a big time congratulations to the Southern Amateur League, the 14 SAL, the 14th Southern Amateur League now after the sponsorship being switched. So fantastic stuff. Great stuff. But you know what? Do you want a stool sample? That's good. With a stool inside, that's pretty good. I like that. Have we got anything on the socials?
Yeah, we've got a few little bits and pieces. Just to start off with Twitter. Big shout out to Sam Greenham, who's actually was at the Hull versus West Ham game.
One of the PT family, so that's why he's missing this week.
And he just sent us
Good
a nice little picture of the stadium just before kickoff.
Thank you.
Big shout out to you. Big shout out to the Southern Amateur League who have retweeted the tweet from earlier on.
Yeah.
Also, big shout out to Jack Hitman Hinchin.
Hey, Hitman.
Basically, we asked the question. Paulo Bento has been sacked as Portugal manager. Who is likely to replace him? And Jack has said, if Ronaldo had his way, Fergie.
That's it for Ronaldo.
It's a little cheap.
Yeah,
you said it earlier on. Big shout out to Minch or Alex Minchell. He's just tuned in for his first ever Pitch Talk show. Loving it. Heard the Ibis shout outs.
Hey, what's up, Minch?
We've also got another couple of questions sent earlier on during the day.
Yeah, sure, man. What's up?
This one's from a fan favorite, Jennifer Evans.
What's happening, Jen?
What is up?
And she's basically got a few questions for us again.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Keep them questions coming.
Always. These questions being over the opening games, who do you think is going to turn out to be the best value for money summer transfer signing, and likewise the worst across the Premiership? And by the time the season finishes, and the next part is, how would you personally rate value for money? By that said, the players being in the team that tops the Premier League, or goals or assists, etc. What do you think? And those are the questions.
Yeah.
So 2 questions.
I want to quickly answer that second one first. In terms of judging value for money, it all depends on what position they're in.
Yeah.
If you're in the back line or a goalkeeper, you judge it. You'd have to judge it on clean sheets. With the added thing with defenders, aerial duels, that kind of thing, the important stuff. As a striker, you judge it on goals. Yeah, you judge it on goals. You wouldn't want someone like a Fernando Torres who they were saying. I mean, they said on MOTD that he took 40 games to get to 7 goals, and Costa's done that in 4 games. So it shows you the parallels between a J. Brown striker and a quality striker. So it's one of them. But in terms of best and worst, Man United could potentially turn out to have done the best business in the transfer window eventually, but I don't think we'll see that for a while. My boys Liverpool, I think, would be, in terms of a long-term bet, in terms of good business. Because of what positions have been strengthened. In the immediate term, you can't look much further than Chelsea with the player of the month. And Costa's in hot form. Should have been sent off before scoring that first goal, but yeah, I was going to say, actually, Mike Harneman's beat me to the punch. Actually, Newcastle could potentially look like the major losers of the transfer window, especially if Alan Pardew goes pretty quickly. It'd be one of them ones. I mean, their signings have barely had any time to bed in, but there's already pressure on Pardew. So I would say Newcastle could be the big losers, even though they've made a couple of good signings. If there's no cohesion and there's no togetherness, then so that's my view on it. You too?
I mean, taking the last question first, like how you did. Again, goalkeepers, clean sheets, defenders, all that defensive stuff that they do in terms of aerial battles, key tackles, last-ditch clearances, all of that good stuff. Midfielders, I'm looking at assists more than anything else, I suppose. But again, it depends on what type of midfielder that is. Strikers, it's got to be goals. But in modern football now, it's actually a lot more complicated than that. So on the field, it's all of that stuff. Off the field, you're looking at reputation. So are they a model professional, for example? Are they a party animal? Do they have marketability? Now shirt sales are even more important. Are they an international? Again, that is absolutely huge, and it ties into the shirt sales and marketability.
Well, I swear when Falcao signed, I swear that United sold like 50,000 shirts.
Yeah.
As soon as he signed.
Yeah.
So support.
And that's what I mean. You also have to factor that in as well. Now with the modern game. So off the pitch, it's about marketability and how much money they generate in terms of shirt sales, ticket sales, that kind of thing, as well as everything on the pitch. In terms of the best transfer deals, so far it's difficult to look past Chelsea. I think Chelsea have done some very, very tidy business, and the team seems to be performing quite early on. Now,
They started hot last season.
Are there some weaknesses and kinks in that team? Yes, but can they be ironed out? I think so. I think that in terms of in strength and depth and overall quality of the squad, they arguably have one of the best squads in the Premier League. In terms of the worst, personally, I feel it would be a tie between Newcastle, especially if Alan Pardew does go, QPR.
Yeah, QPR's not a bad one, although they have signed quite a bit of experience.
No, they have, but I'm also
over the hill, maybe.
I'm also tying that into what they've done previously as well, and that will have a big effect on what will happen now. So
we've got a point about that.
Yeah.
We're going to come to that next week.
So based on that, I would put them as the worst. G-Man?
No, you know, I agree with you both on that, but also just touching on value for money. I just see it as like a player that, you know, is bought for the least but can give you the most value. You know, for instance, when you're looking at the likes of I'll put Fabregas over, yeah? Fabregas and Da Costa, as you said, yeah. When you look at what they brought to Chelsea and how they've improved Chelsea have played big bucks for them at the moment, yeah. But then when you compare them, and no disrespect, yeah, I'm not trying to dig out your team, when you compare them to, you can say, Lovren and Lallana's impact so far, then you're looking for value for money. You can say
Lallana played his first game for us.
No, okay, first game, but I'm just saying you can. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying you can look at how instantly, De Costa's made a difference. Fabregas made a difference. Fabregas has got 4 assists already or something crazy like that. De Costa's got 7 goals. You know, that's uncomparable to any other Premiership player.
Yeah. He's the first person to do it. Yeah.
And it's like the values that you see there. It's like, well, Chelsea spent the odds, but they've got players that are scoring, players that are producing. Liverpool immediately.
But
Liverpool haven't, yeah. And then, but that's the way I look at value for players. I've seen, for instance, like Arsenal and Ozil. Now Ozil, we bought him for what, 42.5 million. Now he hasn't produced what he needed to be producing for that sort of money, but he's got great assists. Now that's what he was bought for, yeah. But you know, as every Arsenal fan will tell you, it's not just assists that's needed on the park. You know, you've got to put defensive shifting. You've got to help the attackers. You've got to do more work with your attitude, yeah, and the way you approach games and approach fans and that sort of things, as Jesse was saying before, like in terms of attitudes and, you know, off the pitch sort of things as well. So value for money for me, I just really go.
It's a hard one to quantify.
It's a hard one for me.
There are many ways it can be.
And that's why I brought in, you know, the marketability and off the field stuff. You see what I mean? Like, people will look at the £70-odd million spent by Real Madrid for somebody like James Rodriguez. I would say to you,
that gets balanced out by the Di Maria.
Well, not just that, but I would say to you, in terms of shirt sales and in terms of attendances, right, from fans that aren't necessarily Real Madrid fans, but are fans of James Rodriguez.
James.
Then,
I heard it pronounced as that over the week.
James. But yeah, I mean, based on that alone, attendances increase. which is what you want. Tickets are
Punching
sold.
into different markets is one of them was now.
This
we've
is
got a
it.
Colombian player, we're
This
gonna
is it.
punch it to them.
That's exactly
Just like
my point.
Everton have tried to do with the Asian market. You lot have done.
Yeah.
Arsenal will try.
And that's what I mean. That's why now, in terms of value for money, it's not as quantifiable as it's just performing on the pitch. It's performing on the pitch and the rest of that stuff. As I was saying now, in terms of James' transfer fee, a lot of that is going to be made back from shirt sales and all of his advertising stuff that he's going to do on behalf of Real Madrid.
It's funny actually because Real Madrid? I think Real Madrid in their contracts have every player who signs for them. I think it's something like half of their image rights and all that stuff gets tied into the contract. So half of that is paying for them.
Yeah.
And the player is basically giving half of that up. It's like, well, Real Madrid, we're a bigger brand than you could ever be, so we'll bring you up. It's almost like Real Madrid are enhancement talent back in the WWF in the 80s. It's like, we will bring you up, so you got to give us half of whatever you earn.
Yeah.
Which is clever.
Yeah,
I
very
read that in Tales from the Secret Footballer. It's fantastic. The sequel to I Am the Secret Footballer. Good read.
Yeah, no,
About halfway through it,
I think that, in terms of making financial sense, as I say, that's where you get the money back. Now, if those players sign for those ridiculous amounts of money, then go on to perform. And I use Gareth Bale as of last season as an example.
I do the same.
You have to argue last season he was value for money.
I mean,
they got the cup and they got the Decima. What more do you want? And now they have most of Wales, who are Real Madrid fans.
He's big in the game, man. Just like the G-Man's big in Wales too.
This is what I mean. It's like when the G-Man touches down anywhere in Wales, it's all over.
Mike Hardiman has said worst all of the Newcastle ones. Tom Wood has said West Brom, and he said I think Sunderland have made some decent signings. And Wayne Schumann has said still think Chelsea will win the league this season. They look so good going forward. Costa's different class, so it's an interesting one. It's a very, very interesting one. But you know what? Yeah, it is time, baby, because we're hitting that home straight there, baby. You know what it is? Time, baby. I don't know why I'm speaking like the Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream again, baby, but the fact of the matter is, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, is a fan of your Monday Night Football and Fix, and it is time for us to hit that home straight of the show. So let's go into... Where the hell is he going? He's just up and walks out. Jesse will be back, and we'll be back with...
Stuff of the week.
Every Monday night, it is Pitch Talk. Your Monday night football and fix. Somewhere out there, someone really likes the singing and dancing that we love to do. Oh. 'Cause it's Monday night. Oh. And it's Pitch Talk. You know what? Stuff of the week is back. Back after a hiatus. Mainly because we've been running out of time. But Kerbal Random Mill Struggle is one of them ones. It's back after a hiatus. And what do you reckon we should start with, Jay?
Why not start with goal of the week?
That's a good shout. I'm actually going to start quickly with a question from Big T. He says, question for Liam, how far will Liverpool go in the Champions League this season? Your brother-in-arms, Big T. I think we'll progress from the group stage. I think the furthest we can expect is probably quarters. because there's a lot of Champions League inexperience in that team. The inexperience and youthful exuberance will help us, but I think if we come up against one of the big boys in the first knockout round, for instance, we could come unstuck because of the lack of experience throughout our squad. So I would say the quarters is probably the furthest we'll get. I'm not gonna go like Graham Souness. Yeah, we'll get to the semis. It's like slow your roll, Graham. Slow your roll.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can we like reintroduce the segment now that I'm back?
Oh, that's how you want to do it, yeah?
Damn right.
All right. Just hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every Monday night, straight shooting LJ. That G-Man and Jazzy Fizzle bring you for full chat. I know I can't sing, but it don't matter to me, cause I'm with the G-Man and Jazzy and the rest of the universe. The PT family. Cause it's Monday night. So let's go for goal of the week first.
I like that we did that properly this time.
Goal of the week first, just for sheer mockage. Jeremy Menez. Jeremy Menez of AC Milan. As soon as I saw that, I thought goal of the week. Jeremy Menez, AC Milan v Parma. Goal of the week. I can't look much further than that. Morgan Schneiderlin deserves honourable mention, of course. But who you guys got?
Oh, no, because the thing is, have I not shown you some absolute golazos?
You have, sir. You have
during the show, right? So I'm gonna give an honourable mention to Matthew Valbuena, and I will show you. Right. This isn't for everybody in the live chat. This isn't for everybody that's listening to the podcast or on YouTube watching the live show back. Right?
It was we the people for the people, and we're inclusive, not exclusive.
No. Here's the thing. I'm like, just Google it. This is Matthew Valbuena playing for Dinamo Moscow against Zenit St. Petersburg. Right. So I'll let you guys watch it.
Okay.
This is my honourable mention, by the way. This isn't my goal of the week.
No.
Tell me that is not a golazo.
That chip is quality, right? And it's Welbeck. No, he's hit the post,
right? That is my honourable mention. My goal of the week, yeah. Shout out to Bleacher Report UK. Normally I don't. Ryan Bailey, salute to you, right? Amido Balde.
That is a name. I remember Bobo Balde.
Yeah, playing for Varsland Bavarian against Zulte over there in Belgium. Zulte Waregem, right? I will show you this goal. Okay, this is my goal of the week. Yeah. If you can beat this, then fair enough. Right? But Amido Balde, goal of the week. Kablam!
Oh my God.
Goal!
You can't even blame the keeper. You can't even blame the keeper on that one either. G-Man, who you going for goal of the week?
Those have been two bangers, and I like them both. You know what? I'm going to keep it Premiership, and I'm going Adam Johnson. I just like the chalky toes business past the Spurs defense. It was like almost Henry-like.
It reminded me of Zola's goal in 97 against Man United. That in front of the Matthew D being constructed at that time. Matthew Hardy's. And that was when he just danced through the defense and made Schmeichel look a mug. Schmeichel was like, what? He looked baffled. It was like an understandable check. No, smacking stuff. Mike Harneman, goal of the week. Who you going for?
Yeah, honourable mention to Alexis Sanchez for his finish against Man City.
Yeah.
But on the basis that I agree with Jelly and I think he meant it, I'm going to go with Di Maria.
No, I hear that. Wayne Schumann, goal of the week. Who you going for?
I'm going to go for Sanchez goal against Man City.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I hear that. Ross Vernon, goal of the week.
You may be a bit surprised if I'm going to go against my team, and I'm going to go to Wes Thomas of Birmingham. He was about to finish, and it actually literally broke the net.
Yeah.
And an honourable mention to Enner Valencia's goal for West Ham United tonight as well. That's going to be up there as well.
Yeah, no, that was a legit golazo. For everybody that heard it live, if you didn't, rewind it back while we were covering that live for my reaction to that. It was literally golazo.
Speaking of reactions, I just always will be reminded of the purple dildo on deadline day. In terms of reactions, it was like that made me laugh. That will be one of them moments that will live in the mind.
I just the memory that came soon after it, the FIFA 15.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
So cool. I'd love to see that as a custom
cover. Yeah.
Tom Wood, who you got for goal of the week?
I will go for Shaquille Cole for Southend.
I hear that. Jamie Bailey, you with us? Oh.
Senior Bailey.
No dramatic pause this time. All right, let's shift on to let's go team of the week. For me, team of the week. It's kind of a difficult one. You guys take yours first for team of the week.
Well, honourable mention to Manchester United. Honourable mention to AC Milan. Honourable mention to Inter. Yeah. 7-0. My team of the week, with a late honourable mention to Chelsea. Atletico Madrid.
Great shout in the Madrid derby, yeah. Great shout. 2-1 win.
And shout out to Miss Irene Bonilla. Hola.
G-Man, who you got for?
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Honourable mention to Atleti on that. Also Man United for their emphatic victory against QPR. But you know what? I have to go for Albania because you know that was
fantastic shot.
Bloody good result.
I heard that. For Bento, it is a case of life sucks and then you die. My team of the week. I'm gonna give it to Ibis FC.
Yeah.
For the pure fact, ending up getting a 5-3 win. Like when the 14 Southern Amateur League results are in the Sunday Times, and the Ibis ones get a win, that is fantastic. That is fantastic.
It's fantastic.
I like that.
It's fantastic.
And also the fact that of smashing targets in terms of run for Rob and getting that top up to 10k as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Love it. Love every second of it. Ibis FC get that mention. Tom Wood, who you going for? Team of the week?
Aston Villa for beating Liverpool and Port Sockability.
Port Sockability, I agree with. And in terms of Aston Villa, I'm going to leave that. I can't be bothered. Couple round, I'm going to strike one. All I can say to that pick of Aston Villa is
-5 stars.
Wayne Schumann, who you going for? Team of the week?
I'm going to go for my hometown, Stevenage, for beating Shrewsbury 1-0.
Good shout. Mike Harneman, team of the week.
I'm going to give an honourable mention to Stevenage for that 1-0 victory as well. But my team of the week, not just for the 4-0 victory against Newcastle, but for also the Benali run and what happened there as well, has to be Southampton for me.
That's a good one.
That is a great shot.
That is actually a good one. That SEN goal was mad. Why are they showing this? What level? Let's go for Ross Vernon, team of the week.
For my team of the week, honourable mention, and it's going to hurt me when I say this, Manchester United. Honourable mention to them. Also,
are you really a Leeds supporter?
Yeah, I am. Well, I thought they played well in QPR. The only one team in there against QPR yesterday, and I was. Man United, so congratulations on your first win of the season, Jesse. I wonder if there's any more going to be coming over that. Oh, wait a minute. Don't think so. None in the Champions League anyway. Also, my actual team of the week will have to be Leeds United. Great character. We were 1-0 down against Birmingham. Great character to come back. And we actually scored a fantastic, really teamwork goal. And for Alex Moat, one of the youngsters who came through the academy last season into the first team, brought back in under Red Fern, and he's proved his worth, and he's done well for us, and he's done very, very well for us. So Alex Moat's goal is my goal of the week.
Good shout, good shout. Well, let's roll with. Let's go.
I just got team of the week.
Oh yeah, cool.
Team of the week by Jennifer Evans is Chelsea.
Fair enough.
No, fair shout.
That's a good shout.
Fair shout. Thanks, Jennifer, for that, by the way. Good shout. Let's go for player of the week, and I'll let you two go first on player of the week.
Ooh. Player of the week is a tough one, but I have to honestly say, you can't really look further than Diego Costa.
Yeah.
He's been in white hot form.
Yeah.
Absolutely white hot.
Well, you know what? I want to send honourable mention out to Jack Wilshere for proving one of his biggest critics. Jamie Redknapp, talking smack about him, goes out, puts in a great performance. But I can't look further than Di Maria. Honestly, he was Tasmanic for Man United. He just looked awesome. You know, he's one of them players where I don't really like watching Man United games, but I watch Man United games because of him.
Fair enough.
You know, in terms of player of the week, honourable mention to Andrew Williams for banging in 2 for the threes over the weekend. But I am gonna go for Francis Benali as a player of the week, because completing that 3-week 1,000-mile challenge running to all 20 Premier League grounds, it's fantastic stuff. It's fantastic stuff. It has to be said. So for me, Francis Benali off the pitch and on the pitch, can't look further than Diego Costa. So that's where I'm going for. Wayne Schumann, who you going for? Player of the week?
Jack Wilshere for he answered some of his critics, and I thought he had a really good game against Man City.
Well, I think it's one of them was where Wilshere answered his critics for one game. Let's see if consistency. Okay. Tom Wood, who you going for? Player of the week?
Gonna go for Louis Van Gaal for finally changing the formation.
Someone mentioned in the post, right? Playmaker. Yeah, he's gonna be looked upon as a genius for switching it. Oh, is it the admission of failure? Well, that's an interesting one. Ross Vernon, player of the week.
For me, Liam McCulloch and if ever the Rudolph Fossen of Leeds United. When he came on in the second half, because he was again 2 halves against Birmingham, 1-1 draw it was on the weekend, he actually changed the game. He actually got the ball and ran out of the defence and put the Birmingham defence under a bit of pressure, caused him a few problems, and could almost win with a late shot, but he should have played him on his cook towards the end. But me, Rudolph Fossen is my player of the week. He did very well. And an honourable mention to Gabby Agbonlao for getting the winner for Aston Villa as well, Liam.
Ross, what position are Leeds in the Championship? No, Ross, I'm asking honestly, what position are Leeds in the Championship?
Well, do you actually know, Liam? Or you...
No, I'm actually asking you to tell me what position Leeds are in the Championship.
We're currently 19th in the Championship, and we are 3 points behind the playoffs, so anything could happen. Where's Liverpool in the table, Liam, and how many points you behind Champions League places?
Mate, we're in the Premier League, and we're going to be playing in the Champions League this season. So I just wanted to put that out there. Mike Hardiman.
It's all banter anyway.
Oh yeah, of course. Hey, it's one of them ones. You shoot at my team, expect the straight shooting one fire back. Mike Hardiman, who you going for? Player of the week.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Liam, and say honourable mention to Benali. Also an honourable mention to Costa as well. But my player of the week, not just for his saves for Leicester against Stoke, but also for that beard as well, is their new signing, Ben Hamer, who came in to replace Kasper Schmeichel for the weekend. Okay.
That beard's monstrous.
That beard, I know, that beard is mad. That beard is nuts. I'm hoping he shaves it off and like he does something for charity, like what Tom Huddleston. Because that beard was nuts. I was like, that beard is mad. Let's go for flop of the week. I'll let you two go first. Flop of the week.
Gosh, that is no. Flop of the week is actually quite difficult. I would go with Sassuolo's defense, but I really don't know. Newcastle.
That's not a bad shout, actually.
Harry Redknapp. QPR.
How many teams is it gonna go for?
No, like it really is difficult. So I think I'll just throw all of those together and say, yeah, all of those.
It's the whole mishmash. The whole mishmash is thrown them together. G-Man, who you going for? Flop of the week.
Honourable mention to those three that you've mentioned there. But I'm gonna go Rio Ferdinand. And not only for his performance at the weekend. Well, I don't think he was helped a lot by Corker, his defensive partner, but the book that he's just released and the
what hashtag two sides or something ridiculous.
Yeah, parasitic media are just doing what they do all the time and isolating the negative quotes and just putting them out there with no sort of context at all.
No sort of context at all, but it's just that, again, it's just my favorite players bringing out books before they've finished their careers.
Yeah.
You know, it's been said so many times before on the show, but that's for the reason why he's my flop of the week, because I just don't think he needs to bring out the book right now.
No, I hear that. Kobo right on the strike one on that one. You know what? Flop of the week. Oh God, I mean, for what the hell? Flop of the week. I'm definitely going.
I'm gonna give it to this free kick that I'm watching right now. But he did score.
Oh, he did score. Okay, cool. Now, in terms of flop of the week, I'm gonna go Newcastle. Newcastle got grounded and pounded, and their defense was just awful. It was awful. The only rating you could give to Newcastle's defense was
-5 stars.
So that's all I'm gonna say. Tom Wood, flop of the week. Who you got?
Fulham and Pompey.
Ooh, Fulham again. The Felix Magath. Felix Magath might not be happy with you for giving them flop of the week once again. Mike Harneman, flop of the week. Who you going for?
It's got to be Newcastle for the result, for the selection of fans that they've got as well, who are basically chanting Pardew out. They've got massive banners, and they're basically getting on the manager's back already, and we're still early on in the season, so it's got to be Newcastle for those reasons.
Ooh, that's a good shout. And we're just seeing, wow, where are you finding this stuff? Ain't that Cruzeiro and Fluminense?
Yes. Fluminense!
Wow. Big boot to the face. Ross Vernon, flop of the week. Who you going for?
Right, Liam, for me, for the flop of the week, he's the current caretaker head coach of Leeds United, which is Neil Redfearn. And the reasoning behind this, we've just signed the Brazilian media and the Brazilian fans who have watched him for Fluminense last season. Adrian was on loan at Cairo and did really well there and did very well for Fluminense as well. We fetched him over and he played for the under-21s last Monday, which he performed very, very well. He was about to fetch him on, but then decided to go for pace instead, which, well, from what I've seen from the reserves last week, Adrian has got pace. He never fetched him on. He had him on the bench. He's only just come over to English football, but in that game against Birmingham, we needed a bit more pace on the attack, and he didn't fetch him on the weekend. So for me, even though he's our caretaker manager, Neil Redfearn, why have we got a player such who's been dubbed as the new Kaká in Brazilian media, and you do not fetch him on? You made 2 changes. You could have fetched another one. Yes, he's probably told you to keep behind Chunk because he's fetched him over from Italy, but Adrian is just another signing who's fetched over. Let's realise, by the way. And
let's hold it there. Let's hold it there. I mean, let's hold it there. I mean, it's good. Right. Well, that was. I hear that. I mean, Wayne Schumann, your flop of the week.
Yeah. If it's true, I'm going to go with my flop of the week for that guy, Stevenage, who done what he did in the toilets.
That's a big if. That's a big if, because if
I've been reading up on it. Some people are saying it is, some people are saying it ain't. So
well, we haven't seen confirmation of it. We're trying to find confirmation of that, but it's all hearsay and rumours at the moment. So we can't.
But my main flop of the week is going to be Liverpool for their defeat against Villa.
Okay, even though that's the same team that beat you lot at home 3-1 last season. Let's remember that. Anyway, we have been your Monday Night Football and Fix. I had to mention it. But we have been your Monday Night Football and Fix. I have been Straight Shooting LJA.
And I've been Placid Gav.
Placid? This guy is terrible. That's tremendous. I like that.
And I've been Christian Karen Bill.
Oh, God. No, you've been back for Tembio.
Nah, it's always I've been Jazzy Fizzle.
This has been in Pitch Talk, and there's Jazzy Booker T.
Oh, we're coming for you!
Oh, we talk football. Oh my god! It's one of them was your Monday Night Football and Fix is coming for you. But you know what?
Can we have a swear jar, bro? Please?
No, we can't. Oh no, we can't because I'd fill that up.
Put money in the swear jar.
I'd fill that up too much. That sounds like a Saturday Night reference for Big T. But anyway, too Big T. But yeah, anyway.
Can we go 18 for 1 week?
No. We're in the PG era. But you know what? We're going to say sayonara because it is time for us to start vacating the place with A Hayes. Big shout outs and big thank yous to all those tuned in. So one of them was Jennifer Evans, Alex Minchell, aka Mitch. This one of them was just fantastic. Big shout outs. Hey, Hitman Hinchard, well in, dude. You know what? It's time for us to start moving and grooving.
Hi, I'm John Sitton, and I'm here with Gavin, Liam, and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, director of the 4-year plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Rob Lusher, former chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samir Swanee, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have been your Monday Night Football and Fix. Straight Shooting LJ, the G-Man, and Jazzy Fizzle have proudly brought to you the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions, because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. No, the pitch is where we talk, correct.
www.pitchtalk.com is the official website. Catch us on there, and all stuff Pitch Talk on there. Also, facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become fan, become friend, become member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. myspace.com/Pitch Talk. pitchtalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk will get you to the blogs, including blogs by yours truly, Straight Shooting LJ, the G-Man, and Jazzy Fizzle. Also, many other people, including Russ Vernon, Dave Meir, aka at Mercy, Big T, aka Thomas Hewitt, who we always throw them tees up for, and much more. Many more blogs. Also, Mike Harnham too. Also, youtube.com/Pitch Talk is where you can find all of our videos, including the Pitch Talk on the Road series, the Pitch Talk at Cup Final series, and Pitch Talk meets, and our live shows as well. We leave the video feeds of the live show up to you, of course. But you know what? Also, big time shout out to our Twitter page as well, at Pitch Talk on Twitter, twitter.com/Pitch Talk. You know what? Oh my God, it's always fun. It's always fun. Every single week, it is always fun. I don't know why Sammy and Ash really full color correction. But anyway, leaving that one aside, it's a case of we have been your Monday Night Football Fix. Big shout out to Miss Manisha Taylor. Big shout out to Girls on the Ball, Sophie and Rachel, and their rabbit Scotty as well. And a big shout out to Motivate Sports and Fitness as well. And also a big shout out to Thin White Line Magazine. Also a big shout out to Section 357 show as well with Sunday, Floyd Finks, Twin Gala. Sorry, Sunday, Floyd Finks, Big Shot Ron, Super Navajo. And a big shout out to Twin Gala as well. You know what? It is one of them ones. 07535804466 is the mobile number. Pitch Talk 1. We are on Skype. And hell, it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones. G-Man, you're going to Arsenal Southampton in the Capital One Cup, aren't you?
Yeah, on the 23rd.
There we go. There we go.
Going to be taking my little sister Tori for her first game. I'm going to anoint her as the newest Gunneret.
Anoint her, you know.
Oh my God! In a few years' time, she might be playing alongside Alex Scott, or Alex Scott if she's manager by then of Arsenal. There you go.
Well, funny story is when I got the tickets and I told her, she goes, "Does that mean I have to become a footballer now?"
And the answer was yes.
Oh, that's quality. I love that. I love that. You know what? In terms of Arsenal Southampton, you might see a few of the PT family down there. So we'll keep you posted on that one. We'll keep you posted on that. So, I've been Straight Shooting LJ.
And I've been the G-Man.
And as always, I've been Bafitemi Gobit. No. I have been Jezzy Prison.
-5 stars.
Gobies. But you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to vacate the place with a haste and say thank you very much. Good night.